Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. We've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it.
Welcome to Undisputed, everyone, live from Los Angeles this morning. I'm Jen Hale, here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe, ready to do battle.
Hey.
Good morning, guys.
You got your banker blue on today.
Well, I just hope your opinions aren't as gray as your ensemble is today. We don't need any gray from you.
Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, you want me to be outlandish?
Yes, yes, I do. Yeah, because it's your only hope.
Oh, no. I got this one. This is my wheelhouse topic
You gotta
right here.
fool those people out there.
Nah, fool for what?
Distract them with your outfit.
No. This is my wheelhouse topic right
Okay,
here.
well, let's
He's
do it.
locked
then.
and
Here we
loaded.
go.
Locked and loaded. All right, we are starting with Shannon's favorite topic, the Lakers. The purple and gold completely overhauled this season's roster after last season's team won just 37 games and missed the playoffs. LeBron's squad added Anthony Davis and others, prompting several executives to predict Lakers win about 50 games this upcoming season. However, the same execs told ESPN the Lakers do have injury concerns and their margin for error is very small. One exec said, quote, "I'll never rule LeBron out, but a lot of things would have to fall in place for them to win it." Shannon, do you agree?
I agree they'll win more than 50 games. I don't know if they'll agree with me. I read that article and it said somewhere high 40s, maybe 50 games, Skip. But you know I'm way over that. You and I already got do bet. Yeah.
Yeah, what are you up to? 62?
56.
Okay, 56.
Skip,
You sure you don't want to amend that up?
No, I'm
Come
fine.
on.
Because considering that
They got Avery Bradley. Come on. It's game over.
No, it's not.
Huh?
No, it's not.
No?
I'm not letting you coax me into that. I just think the thing, Skip, they are a better team. They've surrounded him with better players. Anthony Davis basically will give you what Lonzo and B.I. gave you. They were about 25 and a half, 26 points. AD was 26 and 12. He out-rebounded both of those guys. They had more assists combined. But I think Danny Green, I think Avery Bradley are better shooters than what the guys they shipped out. So, and I think they are a more mature team. I just think the pieces fit better around LeBron. He's a guy that needs space because he wants to attack the rim, and there's no incentive for people to leave the lane if guys can't make shot once he kicks the ball to them. I believe Danny Green will knock those shots down. I believe Avery Bradley will knock those shots down, and plus the fact Anthony Davis. Because I don't believe they'll sit both of those guys, and granted, load management, I believe LeBron will miss probably somewhere between 10 and 15 games. Probably won't play back-to-backs. But it's hard for me to believe that they'll sit Anthony Davis and LeBron James in the same night. So I believe that the nights that LeBron sits, I can expect Anthony Davis to give me 30 and 15, 30 and 18. And nights that AD sits, LeBron James will probably have monster games. But Kuzma is going to be the wild card because on a given night when one of those guys sit, he's going to have to pick up the slack. He's going to have to be the second option. He's going to have to be consistently the third scoring option, Skip, because he was the guy, I believe, the reason why they wanted to hold on to him. He was the guy that was least affected by the noise that swirled around the Anthony Davis trade. The other guys seemed to be affected by it. He seemed to be unimpacted by it. So he's like, okay, this is the type of guy that can withstand the pressure, that can withstand the noise, that comes along playing aside LeBron James and having to deal with the expectations. Because you know when you have LeBron on your team, the expectation is NBA Finals. Skip, everybody, something has to break right. Unless you're the Golden State Warriors for the last 3 years, minus the injuries, everybody had to have something break right. And for Toronto, it broke right literally. The knee of Klay Thompson and the Achilles of KD. So everybody else, they make it seem like everybody, that 7, 8 other teams are as dominant and formidable as the Warriors for the past 3 years. And that's not the case. I get it. Denver, loaded up. Utah, loaded up. The Clippers go out and make major moves. But come on. I'm taking LeBron James and AD over any duo that's paired together currently. We're just where we need to be. Watch our smoke. Watch it. Got something for you. I know who we will beat at least 3 times. They play in San Antonio. I ain't gonna call their names.
Really? Wait, could we get a little extra due on that? 3 wins. Over under 3, you're taking 3.
Yeah, we play y'all 4 times,
Okay.
right?
Okay,
How many
so-
times we play y'all?
Okay. I don't know what
No,
it
no,
is.
whatever we play. If we play you 4, we're going to take it 3. If we play you 3, I'm taking 2.
It's usually weird how
I know,
falls.
because I think last year we played y'all, 3 times?
Not sure.
But whatever it is, we'll win more.
We have due on 3 losses. 3 Spurs losses to Lakers. I'll take it right now.
We will win more against the Spurs than we lose. So if we play you 3 times, we're winning 2. If we play you 4, we're winning 3. This will not be a 50-50, and you will not win more games against the Lakers than we win against you. What part about that didn't you get?
I just hope, because when we see the schedule, if we get you twice in the first month, we got you both those. Yeah, we will. We will. You're going to have big issues.
You already got guys who want to leave your team. We're going to talk about that.
You know what?
Later.
I'm going to take a case on that right now.
Okay.
That you are above 500 against my team. Is that a deal?
Deal.
Thank you. Done.
Writing it down. Got it.
You won't be drinking it.
I love Diet Mountain Dew.
I know you
the
do.
Breakfast of Champions.
But
the
you won't be
nectar
getting it.
of the gods.
Starting
And I
in-
just got another one for my swimming pool. I swim in it.
From September to January,
I don't
you
live
won't
in
win
Bel
any.
Air like you up on the hillside. I live down in the flats, as they call it.
Whatever, your
okay.
flats.
Yeah, the flats. So, before I get to my salvo, I will say there was one quote up high that jumped out to me in Brian Windhorst's piece, and it was from just a scout, anonymous scout, obviously. His conclusion was, if the Lakers stay healthy, they have a playoff lineup right now. And I'm like, is that all? That's like damning with faint praise,
Exactly.
right? You just have a playoff lineup? Like if they stay healthy, they're going to barely make the playoffs?
Exactly.
Really? I won't go that far, but I will say this. Obviously, they are considerably better on paper than they were a year ago because LeBron did come here in a shock to me with no co-star. And I kept waiting and nope, no co-star. I still thought they had a talented young team, and now all of that, except for Kuzma, is with you in New Orleans. But it never quite clicked. It never quite gelled. He went down on Christmas Day. And by the way, you did not mention any potential injury for your man LeBron James because you just said load management. What'd you say, like 15 games?
Yeah, somewhere between 10 and 15.
So you're predicting he will. I'm knocking on wood for you because I don't even like to talk about this, but you're saying he will avoid any injury next year.
Yes.
Okay, so Shannon Sharpe has predicted LeBron James will stay completely 100% healthy except for knick-knack, whatever.
Right, correct.
He will miss no games for injury. He will just load manage, which will keep him healthy.
Correct.
That's your prediction.
Yes.
Okay, I'm putting that in concrete, and I'm knocking on wood for you.
Okay.
Because I don't believe that. I just think in year 17, he's going to suffer some minor something, some pull or some God knows what. God help him, but it just happens because he proved last year for the first time ever he's mortal. Wow, didn't see that coming. So this team is obviously better on paper. And remember, that team last year finished 37-45. With LeBron in the starting lineup, they went 28-27. With him in playoff mode activation early, well, he did. He said it. I didn't say it. He said it. I'm just parroting. I'm just saying, repeating what he said. With him activated in playoff mode, they lost 12 of 15 games and finished 11 games behind the Clippers, who did not have, obviously, number 2 or Paul George last year, right?
Correct.
So they're basically the same. You could mix and match a little bit here and there. There's no Gallinari, obviously. No Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but still, the Clippers didn't have any real stars last year and finished 11 games better than LeBron's team, and he played 55 games.
Right.
Okay. I'm going to give you a dozen games better. I'm going to go all the way to 49 now that I see your roster pretty much filled out. I don't know, could you add Iggy maybe to this mix? That would help.
Might add Corver.
And Corver. It's possible. We'll see how that shakes out. Who knows? Maybe the Spurs go get them. We're going to talk about them later. They suddenly have a new salary slot.
Iggy don't want to play with you.
Yeah. Huh?
Iggy doesn't want to play
How
with
do
you.
you know that?
Don't worry about it.
Why wouldn't we want to play with class and character?
Because the same reasons Marcus Morris dipped.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll talk about that in just a little bit. He did dip, and I'm about to dip all over him. I'm about to dip him in some hot sauce from this side of the table. Okay, so I'm going to give you 12 games better. I'm going to 49. You're at 56. I'm going all the way to 49, so that's 49-33. And that will get you the 6th seed.
Man,
That's what I got. That's what it would have gotten you last year, is the 6th seed.
Top 2.
Okay, top 2?
You want to do on that?
No, I don't, because we got like 100 cases
Yeah.
on them winning the championship. Why would I even want that? I mean, like, come on. I'm already done dude out on that one. So now I'm going to give you this. I could see them as the 6th seed finally coming together at that point, because I'm going to get into this. This is brand new. Everything's brand new. But if they come together and stay mostly injury-free in the last month of the season, I could see them being a very dangerous 6th seed, one of the most dangerous we've ever seen. And I could see them climbing into the conference finals, but they're not going to have home court advantage, obviously, and they're going to lose in the conference finals. That's my gut feeling right now.
What LeBron tell you? Doesn't matter the seed.
Okay,
You're 8 seed,
you know what?
1 seed, 2 seed.
Okay, there is much truth to that when you have those two guys that you just singled out. But I still say this team gets off to a very slow start. I still say that every time LeBron has had a new coach, what has happened in the first year? Trouble has happened. Quiet, brooding, simmering issues behind the scenes. A lot of passive, aggressive angst from LeBron exhibited on whatever, Twitter or Instagram, usually Instagram. And why is that? Because he's always at odds with the new coach. There's no face-to-face clash. It's just sort of between the lines, between the post lines, right?
Right.
Okay. Do you think that will happen with Frank Vogel? I do. And again, Windhorst points out Vogel has never been a confrontational sort of guy. That doesn't matter. LeBron will test him, LeBron will push him, and LeBron will make it clear that in the end, I have final say, and I do coach this team. And you can, that's how you've always done it. Now, again, I'm applauding that because he has the highest IQ in basketball, but he has to have a meeting of the minds with the new head coach or the new coaching staff. And my prediction is there will be a clash. It won't be public, it will be private, and I will not be surprised, and I don't think you will be either, if somewhere mid-season there's a big turning point for the Lakers and Frank Vogel is demoted and Jason Kidd is elevated to head coach.
Well,
that's my gut feeling.
And I don't know if Frank Vogel don't have anything against him, but he should have never been the head coach.
Okay, well, I agree with you.
He should have gave him Ty Lue.
Okay, so is it possible that I don't know, this would be unprecedented, but what if Frank Vogel stays on the staff and is demoted to an assistant? Is that possible?
He wouldn't do that.
He probably wouldn't, but you never know. So I'm going to predict Jason Kidd will become the head coach at some point. Lionel Hollins, I have high regard for, but he's a little older school, maybe too old school for LeBron, but Jason Kidd is more contemporary, and I think that's got potential. So then right out of the box, what have we always seen when LeBron goes new to Miami or back to Cleveland? It's chemistry issues. This is all brand new with new parts. You're going to throw DeMarcus in there, and you're going to throw Danny Green in there, and you're going to try to reinvent a role for Kyle Kuzma, maybe as the 6th man. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they're going to have to experiment and find their way.
Right.
You know and I know that will be a struggle for a couple of months. It might take 3 months to find your flow. What's your rhythm? What works? What are the, how do you coach this team? What waves of players do you send in when? Well, it's just going to take hit and miss, and there's going to be a bunch of miss for a couple of months.
Right.
That's why I don't think they can win 56 games.
I believe they can, Skip, for the simple fact. The biggest difference, and you touched on it a little bit, and I didn't bring it up in my opening, is that Boogie. Boogie's going to have an opportunity to train instead of rehab because he was rehabbing all of last year trying to get back.
I'm going to knock on wood for him.
But if Boogie can come back after having an offseason.
Just for those who have forgotten, Achilles rupture followed by quad tear. Not rupture, but he tore it.
Correct.
Okay, go ahead.
And I believe that will also help because on nights that LeBron takes a seat, now Boogie will play more of an offensive role. On nights that AD takes a seat, Boogie will play more of an offensive role, and I believe he will be more than capable. That's it. No setbacks. The offseason goes well. Hopefully it goes well for him. Boogie can get back. Now, Skip, I don't know if he's going to be what he was in Sacramento. I don't know if he can be what he was in New Orleans before he got ruptured that Achilles. But if he can give us consistent somewhere between 15 and 20 points a night, somewhere between 8 and 12 rebounds a night.
If you get that, you got a star. Yeah. I think you got your third wheel.
Because I know what LeBron, I know what AD is going to give us. Now we just got to have those shooters on a nightly basis. Somebody steps up and gives Danny Green or Avery Bradley.
If DeMarcus is a starter and a star for this team, that means he's going to play a lot of minutes.
No, he can't play. I mean, what, 30?
Yeah, okay, well, that's a lot to me. That means he's going to be on the floor for 30 minutes on the defensive end, and that means you're in trouble. That means you got both LeBron and DeMarcus and who else playing defense? Kyle Kuzma doesn't play a lot of defense. So this team will be defensively challenged depending on the rotation, depending on who's on the floor. You have specialists that you didn't have last year.
Right.
Although Lonzo can really play defense. So don't underestimate. You lost him for a big chunk of last year. But Danny Green can play defense. Avery Bradley can play defense. After that, I don't know. You got two specialists. Now you're going to mix and match.
AD plays D.
Okay, and AD, he can. I got you. And there's a quote in here, an anonymous quote, saying he's going to really earn his money on defense because he's going to have to. Okay, I agree. But it's hit and miss on defense, too, because you're going to have 2 or 3 guys on the floor who are not defensive-minded.
You're right.
You like that?
No, I don't particularly like that, but I think the thing is that what you have to do is Boogie's going to have to punish the guy that he's going against. If you're trying to score against Boogie, Boogie's going to have to put somebody down on the block and score against them because he's going to have to neutralize that. If you give up 15, you got to go get 15 in order to make this thing a push.
Okay. Then we get to the newest and worst term in the history of the NBA, which is load management. I do not like it.
Your guy.
He invented it. Number 2 invented it in San Antonio when he load managed for 73 missed games. 2 years ago.
He was hurt.
He was hurt with a thigh bruise. And now you've got 2 players who need some load management because, again, you covered Anthony for all those years in New Orleans. He's going to get knick-knack hurt. He's going to have a little of this and a little of that, and it's going to cost him game here, game there. It's been his history. He's had all sorts of knee issues and then elbow issues and then shoulder issues.
Bad diet.
And then a concussion and then, okay, maybe.
We cleaned it up.
Okay, maybe. I will agree. LeBron will be a tremendous influence on him and might take him to the next level, but it's going to take time for that to all kick in. And again, the history tells you 2 things, that LeBron in year 17 will have another minor injury that'll cost him some games, and that Anthony will have 2 minor injuries that will cost him some games, but they will be minor.
Yeah.
I'm knocking on wood. I don't even like to
great.
talk about this. I don't like it on anybody.
I don't foresee a problem because I think we're going to be ahead of this.
Okay, so you do not have now number 2 as we thought you would have to help you load manage among 3. You just have a big 2. The good news is the NBA has nothing but big 2s all across the landscape. There's no other big 3 because Golden State is no more. Unless you want to tell me Clay comes back 105%, and all of a sudden you got Steph, Clay, and Draymond that might requalify as a big 3 that once upon a time were the backbone of 73 and 9, right? So they're waiting in the wings, and we're waiting to see what happens there. But you do have 2 guys who need to mix and match their games. You're in trouble on your 56. They're not going to get there. They won't play enough. They won't be constantly, consistently healthy enough to get you to 56 wins. You need a 3rd star, and you don't have one, unless DeMarcus re-arrives.
DeMarcus or Kuz.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I just feel very comfortable with Anthony Davis being reinvigorated. He's where he wanted to be. He believes he has a best opportunity, the best chance for him to win and let people see on a grand stage just how talented he is.
Okay.
Skip, that's what he wanted. He wanted to play. He foregoed $50 million to say, you know what, guys? I want to be here. Okay. I want to be on the big stage. I want to play next to LeBron James. To have that expectations because he understands when you play with LeBron, it's all about titles. Okay. It's championship or it's nothing. And he wanted that. Couldn't think of a better place to come than to do it.
All right, I got you. So I got your Lakers as the 6th seed.
Man.
Very dangerous 6th seed, but guess who I have as either the 7 or 8 seed? Golden State that I just mentioned. And they will be the most dangerous, maybe 8 seed in the history of the Western Conference, which is now by far the dominant conference and got even more dominant through the free agent period.
Yeah, and plus what you call him left. KD left the Western Conference.
Okay, all right, he did, but number 2 came back.
Yeah.
Okay? So to me, I could see these 2 teams coming from 6 and maybe 8 to the conference
Skip,
finals.
we're not getting out of the top 3. I don't know why you
I'm
keep
just
saying
telling
6.
you,
I'm telling you.
I'm realistic. You never
No,
are.
you unrealistic.
You cannot talk objectively about
I'm
your
talking
guy.
about it. I'm talking about it right
6.
now. I'm talking about it right now, Skip.
okay.
He's only going to be able to average something like 24, 25 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, and 8 rebounds. That's all he's going to be able to give you this year.
Speaking of load management, he's going to be carrying a new load, and it's called Father Time, who's going to be sitting on his shoulder the whole time.
Shake him off.
He's heavy. Try to jump, and you're like, ugh, Father Time.
You remember that?
Get you up.
You remember that Taylor Swift song? Shake It Off? That's him.
I don't know
You should-
Taylor Swift songs.
Oh, you're my bad.
Surprised you do.
Yeah, don't worry about
You
it.
bet
I know.
you do.
Yeah.
It's a good song.
Yeah, he shook off Father Time.
Okay. Well, I'm proud to say I don't know Taylor Swift.
Yeah. What about Father Time? You know him?
I know him. I fight with him every day. So here's the point. This is going to be LeBron's welcome to the West year. He got a honeymoon last year because everybody gave him a break and a pass.
They gave him no break.
Yeah, they did.
Because all you talking about, he couldn't get, here's LeBron James, he went to 8 straight finals.
That's me.
The
world said
no.
pass.
And
The
everybody
world said honeymoon.
And everybody else was writing about how he could not get the Lakers team. He activated because you keep talking about it. Everybody else is talking about it. How he couldn't get this team to the playoffs. The great LeBron James. No. He didn't have a honeymoon.
Here's the problem. Every night in the West, you walk on the floor and you say, it's the Clippers. Then you walk out the next night and you say, well, wait a minute, it's Utah.
Yeah,
And
that's what
then
they're saying too.
It's Houston.
That's
and
what they're
then
saying.
it's Denver. And then it's Portland. And then it's the Spurs. Whew. It's just too much.
So what you think
All
is-
those teams could get hot. One of those teams that I just mentioned will get hot in April. Book it. One of those teams will get hot, and they could rise up and win the West because they're all capable of winning this
And guess
West.
what, Skip? And when they come up, and when they face us, they're like, oh, man, got the Lakers. Man, AD.
Okay,
Bron,
you know what? I will give you that.
Woo, what are we going to do
But
tonight?
so will LeBron be saying that.
LeBron ain't going to be saying nothing.
He's going to be saying, I need a vacation, man, because I spent my whole offseason making a movie.
No. We got 2
I'm
months.
worn out.
We got 2 months because we didn't make the playoffs. So we got a 2-month head start on the vacation.
Really?
We invigorated.
Yeah.
You see Skip at 4:55. He getting up shots in El Segundo.
I
you
don't
see
believe that.
You do what?
I don't believe it.
So he photoshopped
You
it.
can post anything you want to post.
So in other words, he gets that footage, he puts it in the can,
Yeah.
and then he releases it at a later date and time.
Yeah.
Skip, you ought to be ashamed
Why
of yourself.
not? Well, it's possible.
Anything's possible.
In
That's
this
not,
era, yeah.
I don't believe it. I believe LeBron James put that time in. That's
Well-
what GOATs do.
Almost time to get back to work. We should be getting that regular season schedule at the beginning of August, and we will
Spurs
find out
twice
exactly
early, and I'm good.
how many times y'all will
Yep.
Y'all
play.
taking the day off.
All right, much more ahead this morning, including is Carson Wentz by far the best quarterback in the NFC East?
That's
Yes.
blasphemy.
Skip's cringing right now.
Walk it to
We're
him.
going to discuss that up next.
No mercy.
We all know that Kevin Durant is in Brooklyn now, but apparently the Nets found out about his decision at the same time the rest of us did. GM Sean Marks says they learned KD had chosen the Nets when they saw his Instagram post. Marks added, quote, "We all got that in real time with you guys. We weren't even sure if we were getting a meeting that night or a telephone conversation with him." Interesting stuff. Shannon, how do you explain this?
I explain it like this. He was leaving Golden State come hell or high water. It became, but that's abundantly clear, Skip. Now, for me, this is very, I've never heard anything like this. How do you accept, Skip? You go to a job, you don't even know they have an opening. You didn't even go interview for the job. You show up to work out here. I might just try that my next job, Skip. Just go knock on the door. Hey, I'm here to go to work. Who are you? I just want this job. Here I am. Skip, I can't believe this. A man takes a decision like this. Kevin Durant does not interview, he does not meet, he does not call. What if they didn't want him? That's a good question. Skip,
Sorry.
Skip, you've been around this thing 40 plus years. You ever heard anything like this? I mean, the guy, he's like in free agency. You know, everybody want to be wooed. You know, they fly.
That's true.
They flying cross country. Golden State got on a plane. They call them the Hampton Five with Steve Kerr. Skip, they got on a plane and flew from San Francisco all the way to the Hamptons. 6 hours to woo Kevin Durant. Everybody was coming in and meeting LeBron when he went through it in 2010. He was meeting Chicago and the Knicks and the Heat and this one, yada, yada. We hear all these meetings taking place, whining and dining. Kevin Durant doesn't take a meeting. Kevin Durant doesn't call anybody. Kevin Durant puts on his Instagram, I'm signing with Brooklyn.
Yep.
Wow.
And did it actually 45 minutes ahead of the opening of free agency. Really?
And that's why you can't do tampering. How you tamper with somebody you never had a conversation with, Skip? How do you tamper with someone you never got a meeting with? He says, I'm coming to you. We joke about, Skip, how LeBron knocked on Magic's door.
Yep.
But really, Skip, this is unbelievable. At least LeBron talked to Magic. Yep. At least Magic was in his driveway waiting for the start of free agency, knocked on the door, goes inside. Kevin Durant said, no, I don't need to do none of that. This is what I know. I'm leaving Golden State, and I'm going here, or I'm going there. And once it became clear that I don't know what transpired, so that even lets you know Nick's trying to save face. Because, Skip, he didn't even give the Brooklyn Nets a meeting. And you're going to say, well, we were a little leery about signing him because of the injury. No, you weren't. Kevin Durant made it abundantly clear he was going to the Nets, and so you trying to save face, say, well, we weren't going to, we were a little, the medicals, and we couldn't see him. He signed with Brooklyn without an interview, and they ain't see no medical record. They didn't even see him, so let alone the records. This is, I've never heard anything, I've never seen anything like this, and I'm from the country, and I ain't never heard of no issue like this before.
I have never heard or seen anything like this in all my years covering the NBA, and that's because I'm not sure I believe it.
Really?
There were rumblings the next day or two after the free agency period opened that the in-city rival Knicks would file tampering charges against the Nets. In this day and age, the way no rule, we're going to talk about this later in the show, but there are rules that nobody pays any attention to.
No.
So I have no idea how you could get a tampering charge to stick, given the way everybody played free agency, right?
Yes.
But I just find it wholly unbelievable that there was no contact of any kind. And again, this statement that he made, that Sean Marks made, you know, we found out in real time with you. Found out in real time. So you're just sitting in your office waiting, thinking, okay, when the clock hits midnight, which is actually 6 p.m. Eastern, right? That then we're going to call. We'll call his agent and say, hey, could we schedule a meeting tomorrow maybe? Maybe Tuesday, maybe Wednesday? Could we maybe just talk on the phone or want to go to dinner?
Well, maybe Kyrie had worked out all the details.
Okay. Well, maybe he had. But the reason this is far-fetched to me is that there were the rumblings, and this statement that he made completely clears them of any tampering charges, but there are lots of small connections that are actually big connections, because there's an assistant coach named Adam Harrington who sits on the bench with Kenny Atkinson and is also considered like a player development coach. And he spent the 14-15 season with Kevin Durant in Oklahoma City, and they grew very close because at that point he was a shot doctor and a life coach. And I found a quote from him. I'm not sure where this was, but I'm just going to quickly read the quote. This is from Adam Harrington in 14-15. I travel with Kevin anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks a month, workouts during the season, off-court mentoring, film breakdown, and just doing life together. It's been great. So they got really that close.
Right.
So you've got that connection, so you can certainly talk to Adam.
Right.
What's up? You know, what? How does it work there? What's Kenny like? What's Sean like? What's it feel like? And to your point, Kyrie was very close to all of the above. So just by osmosis, just by being around them and near them, they're going to know enough to know. Kevin Durant is a shrewd operator when it comes to business decisions.
I think what he means, Skip, is that the head coach, the general manager, the owner, nobody that normally gets meetings with a player of his ilk had the conversation. Now, maybe he did talk to that guy, and he was able to fill in the blanks, but that's Kevin Durant. So even if you knew nothing about him, he's 7 foot tall, he's a career 27 points, he's a 2-time Finals MVP. You're taking him.
Okay. Now, back to your original premise, which could be true, that he just didn't have any contact because, number one, he is out of Golden State, and number two, he's just going to go with Kyrie because he loves Kyrie. They are truly best friends. And as I told you the day after this went down, I said, it sounds like Kyrie is the alpha in this twosome, right? It sounds like KD's like, okay, it's the Nets.
Where we going?
Yeah, we're
going to Brooklyn?
Okay. I trust you. I believe in you. Okay, let's go do this. But it also smacked, I told you, of semi-retirement on Kevin's part because he got his 2 championships and he got his 2 finals MVPs. And then he knows he's got to sit out a year anyway because the worst thing happened. You know, he ruptured the Achilles. And so he's just saying, hey, whatever. I did all that. I just want to be around New York City because we're going to move our, 35 Ventures to headquarter in New York. And I just want to be in Manhattan in the neighborhood. Now, obviously, Brooklyn's near enough by that you can live in Manhattan if you want and play in Brooklyn. Or you can live in Brooklyn and play in Brooklyn and go to Manhattan whenever you need to. But the point is, it felt like he just kind of threw up his hands and said, whatever. But this is Kevin Durant. What do we always say? Boy, he is his own man.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, Skip, no one saw the Golden State coming, but at least Golden State got a meeting. Other teams got meetings with Kevin Durant. So at least they were in it like, okay, we did get a meeting. We don't know how it's going to turn out. But when a guy comes to you, that guy comes to you and knocks on your, no, he doesn't, Skip, when you get home, he's at your dinner table eating. That's how comfortable he was signing there. He didn't even, I'm good. I don't need to meet Kenny Atkinson. I don't need to meet Marks. I don't need to meet the owner of the team. I'm going to Brooklyn.
Even though you're going to have to live with those people, right?
Yes.
They're going to be direct impacts on your life coming up in another year, right?
Yes.
Well, you know how it is playing for a franchise. What if you walk in the door and when you go to Baltimore and you don't know anything? You knew Ray, obviously, but.
But you know, I met with Brian. I met with Ozzy. I flew back on the plane with Art Modell. So I got very comfortable talking to those people. Skip, this is Big Brother. Or this is like you know, when they just put everybody in the room together, you have no idea. And you just got to make it work. But you understand that you're going on a game show, and this is how it works. But in real life, in basketball, you don't want to know, okay, what kind of system you run? I guess you're a superstar, you are the system. Because I can assure you, Kenny Atkinson, they're not going to, when Kevin Durant comes back in October of 2020, they're going to run what fits best for Kyrie and KD, whatever that is. So what they were running before, they won't be running that when Kevin Durant steps his 7-foot butt on the court.
And I'm still disappointed in Kevin that he didn't even give passing interest to the Knicks because that's the move to me. That's the legacy move. I'm going to go there and I'm going to fix that. No championships since 1973. I'm going to go do that.
I wish you'd have that same energy because the legacy move for Kawhi is the Lakers. I'm going to fix that. They hadn't been to the playoffs in 6 years. That's the purple and gold. But you wanted to go to the Clippers.
All right.
Clippers.
But with Kevin, he might have had to go it alone because then the Knicks made it clear they didn't want Kyrie. So maybe Kyrie's the one doing all the legwork and the homework, and he realizes the Knicks they're not interested in me. So Kevin, we're out on the Knicks, right? So is Kevin just going to accept that? Why wouldn't Kevin meet with David Fizdale? I'm a big fan of David Fizdale. Why wouldn't you at least sit with him? Maybe he did.
You know what, Skip? I think the thing is for me is that I think once Kevin got injured, it changed his thinking a lot because I'm not so sure had he not been injured, he might have been willing to go it alone.
Maybe.
Because he understands, I'm Kevin Durant. Well, I'm injured. I'm away from the game for a year. Am I still that same KD?
Okay.
He doesn't know because he's never been down this road before.
Okay. So if you're Kevin Durant, wouldn't you want to sit with James Dolan, the owner of the New York Knicks? The infamous owner?
No.
Why not? Why wouldn't you just go, it's your life and your legacy. Why wouldn't you just go sit and say, explain to me why I should be a Knick, just to hear what he had to say.
Well,
look him eye to eye.
You know what? KD should have went in and said, okay, explain to me why you had Charles Oakley.
Okay, you could do that. Well, that might be your first
question. I like old school. So why'd you ban him?
All right, I got it. But he didn't, I guess, give the time of day or night to anybody with the Knicks.
No.
Steve Mills, the head coach.
And I love Fitz.
Yeah, so do I.
I think he's an unbelievable coach. Hell, I wish he was the Lakers coach.
Okay.
That's neither here nor there now.
I just have a sneaking suspicion that Kevin Durant had conversations that Sean Marks did not acknowledge.
Right.
That's what I think.
Or maybe he didn't know about.
Or maybe.
Because, hey, keep this on the hush because, tampering, $500,000 and then Adam Silver might say, well, since you guys tampered, you're going to be unable to sign him.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be some David Stern type stuff.
It would.
Adam Silver wouldn't do that because, David Stern, like when Minnesota tampered with Joe Smith. And they said, not only can you not sign him, we're going to take 3 first-round draft picks for the next 3 years. And it ruined the Timberwolves. So maybe he had those conversations, Skip, and Katie's like, we need to keep this on the hush because we mess around and get a tampering charge, and I'm not going to be able to sign with you guys.
So then he had what used to be called plausible deniability?
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
Not to my recollection. Or to the best of my ability.
Okay.
Not that I can recall.
Well, that is a problem that Adam Silver does want to fix. He's been talking
Yes.
lately about making some adjustments to free agency in that process.
No mercy.
Next up right now, sky-high expectations surround the Eagles this
Bring it.
season.
Bring
And
it on.
A lot of it
Love
focused
it.
on Carson Wentz.
Yep.
Of course, his last 2 seasons, we all know how those ended with injuries. But Wentz has been back in full form for minicamp. Offensive lineman Lane Johnson says he's really on a different mental state than he's ever been as far as training and ignoring distractions. I see a guy who is about to do some big things this season. Big talk from the lineman. Shannon, what are you expecting from Carson Wentz?
Sky high. I expect an MVP type caliber season.
Type caliber?
Yes.
Not an MVP
Like-
season, just a type caliber
I
season.
expect him to play
Okay.
to the level he played in week 2. I mean,
Okay.
not week 2, year 2. A level that we know somebody has yet to reach. I'm not going to call his name because this is not a topic for him. This is about to walk it to him. Skip, I believe 2 things hurt Carson Wentz last year. I believe that injury, the one he suffered, I think, week 12, week 13, and Nick Foles. Skip, I'm coming into a season where I've suffered the most catastrophic injury of my career. And I'm also dealing with my backup, the guy that was my backup, went on this epic journey. He wins the Super Bowl. He's the MVP. Now, if he doesn't win the MVP, you know, it's like I ain't got no problem. But Skip, come on. The man's human. He know what just happened. I got injured. I'm injured. Am I going to be me? Takes you a year because all of a sudden Carson Wentz is a mobile quarterback. His legs are a big part of what he does. Can I drive the football? Can I get out of harm's way? Can I scramble with the ball? That's going through his mind. And at the back of his mind, maybe even at the front of his mind, man, old lucky Nick Foles won the Super Bowl. And I got to hear Skip Bayless and a lot of other pundits talk about that I shouldn't be starting. Foles should be starting, and they're better off with him in the starting lineup. So I think those things weighed heavily on his mind. You know, I've done both of these. I've rehabbed in an offseason, and I've trained in the offseason. So trust me, you'd rather train than rehab. And normally, if you're limping to the season, you're limping out of it because you don't get healthy playing tackle football. I can assure you of that. But he's healthy now. He's 100% healthy. Skip Bayless, y'all in a heap of trouble.
Heap of trouble.
Y'all in a heap.
Tell
of
me
trouble.
when it's my turn.
It's not your turn. I tell you what. You know what? Go ahead and take it over.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because
I
the
think
NFC
you just ran out of ammo.
The NFC.
There's not a lot of ammo to be had.
The NFC East. It went through Dallas last year. Heading up, going through Kansas, going through the upper Midwest,
Yeah,
going
it's
to the
going
north.
to take some detours.
He's
Yeah.
going to the Northeast. He's going to stop in Philly.
Okay. First of all, I got to take issue with the producers who started off with like 4 straight highlights of Carson Wentz
Why wouldn't he?
throwing touchdown passes against my Dallas Cowboys. And I have one
Did
question.
that happen?
I have one question for the producers. Who won both those games last year?
Who said it was last year?
Oh.
That might have been the year
Oh,
before.
maybe it was. I
You
didn't
know,
even
highlights don't have a
Nick-
shelf
Oh,
life.
here you go
Look at that.
again.
Show them again.
Salt in the wound.
Oh, but that's nice.
It's okay. You can have that one, and you can have that one.
Wow.
You can
Zach
have
Ertz.
all of these. Have another one because you
Bam.
took the L. You lost twice to the
You can't prove it.
defending
You can't
champions.
prove it. Look at that. Look at Skip.
Who won the division last year? I think Dallas did.
You won't win it this year, though.
You know what? Get used to that right now because you're not going to
Get
see
used
much
to that.
of it. Yeah.
Byron Jones chasing, like rerun behind that truck on what's happening.
Now, for my answer to this question.
What do you expect?
I actually feel sorry for Carson Wentz.
Why?
Well, almost. I almost feel
Yeah,
sorry.
whatever.
As much as I'm capable
Whatever,
of getting close
whatever.
to feeling sorry,
You're on the verge.
because he has the weight of the NFC East world on his shoulder pads now, and especially the Philly Nation world, and it is a loud, strong world. It can be a vitriolic world. And he is going to be expected to take back over the East the way Nick Foles has taken over the last 2 playoffs, because that team rode the magic of Nick Foles into the last 2 playoffs, and one resulted in a Super Bowl MVP performance by Nick Foles and a championship over Brady and Belichick. And last year, if Alshon hadn't dropped a pass in New Orleans, I don't know. Maybe we're talking about he did it again to Tom Brady, Nick Foles. Maybe. I don't know. So now you throw Nick Foles back into a team that at the end of last year had built a shrine in their locker room to the Magic Man, to Nick Foles. A shrine. And he's coming out of an offseason in which the Philly Voice had an expose about how he lacked the leadership that people thought that he was displaying, that he's not what he appears to be, that he can be a diva and he can rub people inside the locker room and inside the organization the wrong way. So it was a bombshell expose. He's coming out of that, and you gave him back Deshaun Jackson.
Ooh, DJ, I forgot about DJ.
Explosive receiver in Philly history.
Yep.
Still one of the best deep threats in all of pro football. Yep. And he's back in his old haunt in Philly where he loved it, and he got pushed out the back door.
And guess what else they gave him?
Yep.
$128 million. Something your Cowboys haven't given their quarterback that you say better.
Right. All right, good. So that heaps a little more pressure.
Ain't no
on
more
the shoulder
pressure.
pass. And they gave him Josh Howard because, Jordan Howard because Jordan Howard, his first 2 years in the league, went for 1,300 yards and 1,100 yards. So he's a big stud back.
Nice running game.
He's 6 feet, 225.
Nice.
He can bang it up inside. So now you've got a credible running game that you may or may not have had much of last year, right?
Yep.
So what's not, you added Malik Jackson to the defense. What's not to like? I mean, they're just positioned. Every time I look up, I see a power ranking that has Philly around 5th or so, 4th or 5th. And Dallas is always like 15th or 18th or somewhere in the middle of the pack.
Because you're average.
Okay, we're average. I accept that right here, right now, because the pressure is on poor Carson Wentz. And I even just read Pro Football Focus ranked offensive lines, and Philly has the best offensive line in pro football.
You seem surprised.
Philly.
You seem surprised.
Really? Well, okay, so now you got an offensive line, you got your running back, you got your wide out deep threat. What is left except you got to go do it?
The division.
Right?
Division. That's ours.
Woo.
Yep. We already getting T-shirts printed up.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, so you've already printed T-shirts. I like that. What are they going to say? NFC East
NFC
champs?
East. Yep.
Or are they going to say
NFC,
Super Bowl champs?
NFC East champs.
Really? Okay. I'm glad. I like that. I hope the Cowboys are all watching. I know they watch the show. Fly, Eagles, fly. Or maybe cry, Eagles, cry, because I'm still not sold on this guy. I'm not even sure the people who drafted him are completely sold. Howie Roseman.
They gave him $128 million. They better be sold.
You know why? Because pride goeth before the fall. That's what the good book says.
I know your team. Not sold on your guy.
All their pride. No, we're talking about your guy right now because he's the guy with the heat on him. My guy didn't have that kind of heat on him.
Of course not, because there's no expectation.
Thank you.
They already know the ceiling.
I agree. Make my case.
They already know.
Keep going. Thank you. Love it.
They already know he can't break the glass ceiling.
Yeah.
They already know he going to bump his head on the ceiling and come right back down.
So
Carson Wentz can bump his head and crack through it.
Howie Roseman goes home every night, puts his head on the pillow and looks up the ceiling and starts staring and blinking, thinking, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sold.
No.
I don't know, but I can't give up on the guy because we traded up to get him. And we put all this cash in him because we have to look like we believe in him. We have to prop him up and try to make him re-believe in himself.
You don't got to do anything.
Really?
This is what we know, Skip. You're right. They traded up. So they have every reason to keep him because they got so much invested in him. But you guys got a guy in the 4th round. He won the job. He started every game.
Yeah.
He's won the division twice. Why hasn't he gotten his money?
Overachiever, overrated.
Because they don't believe in him.
Overhyped.
They don't believe in him.
Yeah, they don't believe in him. All I know is I believe in him.
No, well, you ain't got no
Till
money.
death do I part.
Well, you got $120 million in your back pocket.
I don't, but I believe in him. And you know what? He's doing okay because they did go get him Amari Cooper mid-year last year, and all of a sudden Amari's having a whole offseason with Dak Prescott. Who knew?
What we gonna do about those 70? What we gonna do about those 70 yards he had over the last 3 games?
I don't know.
We gonna talk about that? That's what Amari Cooper had last 3 games. 70 total yards.
How did they go 7-1 down the stretch after he arrived?
Zeke was a monster.
I don't know.
Zeke was a monster.
Okay, interesting. Except I gave you the other day, we went over. Dak was top 5 in every stat in the last 8 games. Every stat in the league.
And Zeke was what?
I don't know how.
Zeke was number 1 in every stat when it comes to running back.
Okay, well, he's on my team. Does he count? Do I get to use his yards? Is it like fantasy football, except I don't get to count Zeke?
No. But I'm just trying to help you understand why one guy has a lot of expectations and expected a lot, and the other guy can just turn around and hand it off.
Okay, so we added Randall Cobb
Oh, my goodness.
who once upon a time was that guy up in Green Bay's favorite target. I don't know.
Randall Cobb, D-Jack. Randall Cobb, D-Jack. I'll take D-Jack.
I'll take Randall Cobb every time in the slot for what the Cowboys need him to do as the new, better Cole Beasley. I'll take him.
And okay, tight ends. I got Zach Ertz, who wife Julie just helped the U.S. women's national team win the gold.
tremendous.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Her husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mr.
Yeah.
Julie Ertz.
I like that. I like that.
And you got Jason Witten. Advantage, Miss Julie Ertz.
I do have Jason Witten back in the fold, back in the locker room,
stop
back
it,
in the
Skip.
huddle, leading, setting examples, Hall of Fame bound. Woo!
Skip.
Yeah.
First of all.
Wait, between Jason Witten and Zach Ertz, who's the more likely Hall of Famer?
No, wait,
well,
no,
I'm just asking. No, who's the more likely?
Oh,
Hall of Fame tight end.
He's on a trajectory to get there as well.
Is he?
116 catches.
Yeah.
Broke your guy's record, didn't he?
Can we do a very future case of do on that?
No.
Okay, I'll take that one right now.
You want to take the guy that already got like 1,100 catches?
Okay.
11,000.
I will take that. And by the way, we did bring back DeMarcus Lawrence, and then we went and got Robert Quinn on defense. We got George Iloka at safety, and all of a sudden, I'm loving my defense.
What you call him? He's not gonna beat the other guy. What's the safety that you? We got a case to do on that. What's the safety name?
Xavier Woods?
No.
Oh, Jeff Heath.
Yeah, Heath.
Oh, okay.
He's not gonna beat Heath out.
Okay,
Jeff Heath
all
gonna hold
right.
that
We got
roll
a case
down.
to do on that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good. But again, all this adds up that my guy has a better,
97.
actually has a better team between the lines than your guy does, but nobody's seeing that. Nobody gets it yet, and I feel sorrier. Now that I speak it into existence, it feels worse and worse for your guy. He's in a can't-win situation.
I love how you do that with your pen, how you just do all that circling, and how you add things up.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it adds up to 9 and 7.
Really? 9 and 7?
No, yeah. The Cowboys, 9 and 7.
You know what it adds up to? Super Bowl, here we come.
You're not going to no Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
we are.
I mean, think about it. That don't even
Now
sound
we
right.
get to lose to Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
That doesn't even.
We get to. I already predicted it. We get to lose to Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
Let's see. Cincinnati Bengals, Super Bowl. Cowboys, Super Bowl. That sound the same to me.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Well, all I got.
Improbable.
This is going to be very
Unlikely to
interesting because
happen.
Every quote I hear out of the Philly locker room is trying to prop up your guy, limp it to him wins because he's always hurt, right?
Not this year.
They're all trying to prop him up. They're trying to speak him back into existence, like he's the leader of our team. What was the quote? He's in there every day rehabbing. I'm thinking, he's rehabbing?
He ain't
Really?
Training.
Yeah, Lane Johnson said he's in there early rehabbing, and I'm like, he's still rehabbing? That's a problem.
You worry about your guy.
Huh?
You worry about your guy.
I am not
Dink
worried
and
at
Dak.
all about my guy.
Tell him to throw the ball down the field like we
Yeah.
do.
Huh.
We push the ball down the field. We don't dump it around, throw it to the running back. Well, you ain't got no tight end that can get down the field. We have a tight end that can get down the field, and Zach Ertz. Y'all tight end cannot get down the
Last 8 games of the season last year, my guy had the 5th longest ball traveled through air distance in the league. 5th in the league. So he wasn't dinking and dacking once he got him on.
And guess what? And still finished dinking and dacking.
Yep.
Because that's what he does, Skip.
And guess
that's
who's
why
going to be a
completion
better
percentage is
deep
so
threat than Deshaun Jackson will
Who?
be at his advanced
Who?
stage? Michael Gallup. You heard it here first. Book it. Write it in concrete.
high. No.
Yep.
It's not going to happen.
Both teams have some interesting weapons. We'll see how well Wentz can come back from that spinal compression fracture. Supposedly, he's looking
that doesn't
good.
sound
But,
good.
yeah, the weapon doesn't matter. It ain't the gun. Who's shooting it?
Yeah, that is
It
a
don't
fact.
matter.
I agree
it
with
don't
that.
matter who's shooting it.
Mr. Deer in headlights is shooting you.
North Dakota. You know he'll big game hunter. You done sorry about that. Hush, don't bring it up.
I got the wolf hunter. That's all I got.
All right, up next on Undisputed, why is one free agent having second thoughts about Skip Spurs? We're beating up on Skip this morning.
Yeah.
We'll discuss that when Undisputed comes back.
Done with broccoli.
No mercy.
The hits keep coming for Skip this morning. All right, you might not want to hear this. Brace yourself. Woj now reporting Marcus Morris could back out of his agreement on a 2-year, $20 million deal with the Spurs, instead possibly opting for a 1-year deal with the Knicks. New York freed up salary cap room and can now offer a deal to Morris. The Spurs also made moves to fit Morris under their cap, so sticky situation. Skip, how are you feeling about things?
That's Marcus Morris. Back it up. I love it. I love this.
This is unbelievable.
No, it's not.
It is happening again to the classiest organization in sports, at least in the NBA, but maybe in all of sports. Another player is taking them for a ride and taking them right to the cleaners. So we have another number 2 situation in the works. It's not finished yet, but it looks like Marcus Morris is going to renege on his deal. So we have yet another sneaky Pete here in our midst. We have another dirty dealer who is doing them as dirty as you can do. And that's the word that you used as your operative word yesterday when you talked about what number 2 did to your Lakers.
Yeah,
am I right?
Dirty.
Thank you
dirty.
very much. So just to reiterate, number 2 quit his way out of San Antonio by missing 73 games 2 years ago. And now we have a guy who wears number 13 pulling a fast one on my team. And I hope he has bad luck for a long time.
Oh, come on, Skip.
Yeah, okay. So he's considering reneging on a deal that was announced by his agency that represents him on their website. What agency would that be?
I don't know, who is it?
That would be Unclutched Sports.
Hold on. So now you blame it. So now you give.
I am convinced that LeBron James and little Richie Paul, the Kingmaker, are behind this because they wanted, in biggest picture, to stick it to me because they know I'm a Spurs fan and they do not like me because I call them Unclutched Sports. And Richie Paul has had issues with that, and now he's getting even with me by saying, oh yeah, watch this. So the Knicks had a deal in place for one Reggie Bullock, he was going to be the savior of your Lakers last year when they acquired him, right? You remember that?
I do.
So he has some injury issues that were undisclosed, so they found that. So they're going to reduce the money they're going to pay him, which opened up a $15 million slot with the Knicks. My team had already had a handshake deal, a verbal agreement with Marcus Morris announced by Clutch Sports on their Instagram site for 2 years at $10 million a year. So he's saying, wait a second, 1 year for 15, and the other one's just really 1 year plus an option at 10. So he's saying, gee, maybe I should do this.
Yeah, what he should do.
And guess what my team has already done?
What?
My team gave up Davis Bertans in part to make way for this signing of Marcus Morris. And I was the fool who sat here just raving about, we got Marcus Morris because I like him as a player. At least I used to like him.
You still should.
From here forth, he will be number 13 to me. Now that will be his name from here on, number 13.
No more proper
And by the way, his first year in the league when he was with Houston, he also wore number 2. So he's got some number 2 in him. And I'm going to remind everybody that Davis Bertans is a very underrated player because he led the NBA in three-point percentage shooting for 4 months, the first 4 months of the season last year, and led my Spurs in plus-minus for the whole team last year. That's underrated, and we are going to miss him next year. And by the way, do you know how we acquired Davis Bertans?
Yep.
When he was 18 years old, he was a throw-in in the deal for number 2 from Indy. On draft day, remember that? We gave up George Hill, and we got not only number 2 back, we got Davis Bertans. He was only 18, but he's 26 now, and he's also a wizard now, and we can't get him back. Thank you, Clutch Sports, for sticking it to me. That's what it is. And I'm just going to ask again about the NBA. Is there no more honor? Is there no more principle? Is there no verbal agreement?
There's no honor
we're
amongst
thieves. You're calling us thieves?
Yeah.
Oh, really? What did we thieve? So try to refute any of that. It's all LeBron's fault, and somewhere he is watching and chuckling.
Okay, let me see here.
Between takes.
I'm gonna try to help you out. Let's see. Okay, Marcus Morris was allegedly, supposedly, to sign a 2-year deal for $20 million, 1 year and a player option in year 2. Correct?
Did you agree to it?
Yes.
Whoa. Yes.
Time out. So, I don't know you, Jen. I mean, you seem like a very down-to-earth, doesn't have a very lavish or expensive lifestyle. If I gave you the choice, you could make $10 million in 1 year and live in San Antonio, or $15 million and live in New York. Which one are you choosing?
I'd play for the team that has a chance to win the championship next year.
Neither one will win the championship. So at least I'm going to take
Which team has the better chance?
Skip, do you understand? I was thinking about being a lawyer. And a contract, before they were written, a contract was the meeting of the minds. Okay, Skip, you got some corn? Okay, I tell you what I'll do. I'll trade you 15 gallons of milk for 6 bushels of corn. But something happened along the way. In other words, I got the bushels of corn, and I wouldn't give you the milk. So we had to go to court. So then they said, you know what? This, as Judge Judy says, this. What's on here?
She does always say that.
What's on here? Is Marcus Morris' name on this, which is a contract? No, it isn't. So he's under no obligation because teams do this all the time, Skip Bayless. You know what? We want that guy. Oh, but that guy, the other guy that we kind of like, didn't sign with that team. Now we can get him, and they pull it off the table. It's been done before, so it's happened. So you keep saying you guys are the classiest organization.
We are.
But things like
we
this
don't do that to people.
But things like this keep happening to you, so it has. You have to ask yourself, why is that?
You have to ask yourself
No, I know.
what karma is.
What is karma?
It's the B word.
Yeah, you know, karma.
Yeah.
You know, but what I love most about karma? Karma's patient. You know, it don't always happen instantaneous. Karma take its time. Karma, like, I got all day. As a matter of fact, I got the rest of your life to get your tail back.
Wouldn't it be funny if my Spurs knocked LeBron's Lakers out of the playoffs this year?
What's funny
Now,
about
that
that?
would be what I call karma.
Skip, Rich Paul owes it to his clients to get them the most possible money in a situation. Marcus Morris could say, you know what, Rich? I agreed to. I gave them my word. That's my bond. Now, that's the way I do it. I give you my
Thank
word.
you.
Word is bond.
Yep.
That's me.
Yep.
Everybody don't operate like you and I do, Skip. So Marcus Morris says, okay, Rich, you know what? I know I can get more money from the Knicks, but I did give the Spurs my word. Let's go ahead and go through with it. Or he can say, Rich Paul, I'm under no obligation to honor my word. I want to go live in New York for 15 mil, live in a high rise.
Or Rich Paul could say to Marcus, your word's just doo-doo, right?
No, you can't do that.
Good.
Hold on, Skip.
Yep.
I wish my agent would say that. He fired. And then guess what? I go get me another agent.
Would you?
Then, yeah.
Well, why doesn't Rich Paul and LeBron, why don't they fire Marcus Morris as a client?
For what?
For doing that, for breaking his
First of all-
gentleman's agreement.
First of all,
But he's not a gentleman.
First of all, LeBron James is a client of Clutch Sport. Rich Paul happens to be the CEO and the owner of Clutch Sport.
Who funded Clutch Sports to begin with?
No, what happened was LeBron James brought Rich Paul along. LeBron James used to have an agent. Once he brought Rich Paul in to see the inner workings of how it worked, so did Maverick Carter and and Randy, they said, you know what? We're going to keep all this money under one umbrella. Ain't no sense in me. Rich, you can do this. Mav, you can do that. Randy, you can do this. And so they did it. He empowered his young brothers. That's what we need to do more of in our community.
I agree.
But, Skip Bayless, Rich Paul is under no obligation to the Spurs. The contract was not signed. Right here. Judge Judy, I need to be.
Okay. Did Rich Paul say to R.C. Buford, yes, sir, we have a deal? Did he say that? I'm pretty sure he said that. Right? So is Rich Paul's word on the line?
Rich Paul's word is bond with me. Good to me.
All right. Well, with you, but not with R.C. Buford.
Well.
His name is now Mud.
What? Hold on, Skip. Okay, well, up to Annie.
Yeah.
Give us 15 and we'll come.
We don't have 15.
Well, I don't know
we
the
barely
10.
cleared 10.
I ain't got no 10.
Yeah,
Well,
we had
I
to
see.
rework Damari Carroll's contract. I'm just hoping we go out and get Iggy or somebody. You know.
Iggy ain't coming to
we
you
got
guys.
Iggy.
Iggy ain't coming to you guys. Why,
That would be funny if Iggy said, Lakers no, yes to Spurs.
when it's the only person
Class and character.
The only person that's ever done that, and that was a big mistake, was who? LaMarcus Aldridge. LaMarcus Aldridge turned the Lakers down to sign with the Spurs because he didn't want that pressure because he's not that guy. You know that. You've said it yourself.
I've said it myself, but he is really good.
Oh, we don't know. We don't need really good.
Okay.
We need great with the Lakers. If you put on that purple and gold, and you thought of as being that, we need you to be great.
You know
especially
what?
for a big man.
We have a whole bench full of really good
No, they ain't
players.
gonna do nothing.
And if you get enough really goods, they add up to great.
No. You need, but still in the NBA and today, you got to have that one great player. That's what Toronto had. Toronto had a lot of really goods, but they had that one great. That one dog.
Well, I'm going to dare number 13 right here, right now, to reconsider
No, don't
on
do it.
reneging.
No.
Reconsider.
No.
Your word is your bond. You are a gentleman. You do have a basketball backbone, and you have principle and character that you need to live back up to and say, you know what? A deal is a verbal deal.
Hold on.
That's what you
Help
do.
me understand this. You want me to reconsider, but you won't even call me my name. You say, I need 13 to reconsider. You didn't say I
I'm
need.
daring him.
No.
Well,
you know what? He said,
If he reconsiders, he's back to Marcus Morris status
You know
on
what?
this show.
Richie just sent me a text.
Did he?
He said, no, he didn't. But but Marcus said, you know what, Skip? I would have thought about it. Had you called me my government name, I would have considered re-signing with the Spurs. But since you called me 13, I got the dip on.
Okay, dip. dip this.
And to make matters worse, Davis did seem to be sad to leave San Antonio.
He was
He
sad.
did.
Social
He was a
media
good
to
player,
post How
man.
much he missed the city and how much he thanked the organization.
It'll be okay.
All right, sticking
Dirty
with
pool.
the NBA. Up next, do the Lakers have the best roster in the NBA? Chris Broussard's going to help us break that one down. Up next.
No mercy.
LeBron's Lakers are going to look a lot different next season. Anthony Davis and others are now wearing purple and gold, prompting several executives to predict they'll win right about 50 games. However, those same execs warned ESPN that the Lakers do have injury concerns, plus their margin for error is very small. One exec said, quote, "I'll never rule LeBron out, but a lot of things would have to fall in place for them to win it." We're joined by FS1 NBA analyst Chris Broussard. Good morning, Chris.
Morning.
Skip has the Lakers at 49. Shannon has them at 56. Do you agree with any of this?
I'm certainly much closer to Shannon, 56. And if they win all out, they're definitely winning more than 56. But I think 55, 56 will be around there. I don't see under 50 because, we know they're not going to go all out.
That
The
clinches
regular
it.
season.
It's over.
Right. There's no way. I'm saying it right now. No way they don't win 50 games, unless there's major injuries to their star players. But I agree with the executive who says a lot has to fall in place for them to win. However, I don't agree to the point where the Lakers are a long shot. Like, they're no long shot to win it next year. I think they're the second best team in the league right now. And so I think the regular season record, they may be the 4th seed. They may be the 3rd seed. Like, I don't see – regular season is going to be about chemistry building, load management, getting the rotation right, and all of that. So they're not going to have a
And that equals
tremendous
56 wins?
Yeah. 54, 55 wins.
Because 2
50,
plus 2
I'm gonna say
equals
if you
2.
If you want to hold me to a record, I'm going to say 53 to 54 wins.
Well, which is it?
I'll say 54 wins.
Okay, 54 and 56.
wins.
You want to go up?
No, I would have
Well, he was stoking your fire.
But I love how these execs say injuries are concerned. What about Kawhi? Who's been injured?
Well, why is it always about somebody else? You always have to change the subject to somebody else.
Because everybody keeps saying everything has to fall right.
Right.
What fell right for Toronto last year? Something always has to fall right.
I was the one telling you that.
I do think there are more question marks about this Lakers team than most teams, than the Clippers team. That's why I
Really?
think the Clippers are better. Here's the question marks. Number one, health. As you said, it's for every team. However, it's more so for the Lakers. Number one, your best player, LeBron's in his 17th year.
He's
coming off an injury. So I'm just saying you have to see how it works out. Anthony Davis in 7 years has only played 70 or more games twice.
Let's
see how that works. Avery Bradley, why was he still on the market? Because the last 3 years, 55 games, 46 games, 63 games 3 years ago. So his last 3 years he's been injured. And not to mention Boogie. Second thing, they have to accept roles. What if Boogie doesn't start or finish? Is he going to be – Boogie wants to understandably showcase himself.
Right.
So he can get this big deal. So
I thought he was doing that last year, but go ahead.
What if Kuzma isn't happy with the role, if he's not the definitive third guy? So they have to accept roles. Coaching situation. We know that LeBron, number one choice, Ty Lue. Who's number two choice? The assistant coach, Jason Kidd. So do they buy into, not just LeBron, but do they all buy into Frank Vogel?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think one reason Toronto was able to win it was because Kawhi, as much as he didn't want to be in Toronto, as much as he nor anybody else knew what Nick Nurse could do, he just bought in. And we're going to do what we do. So there's that. Then drama. We know LeBron. Look, I used to talk about David Griffin about this all the time when he was in Cleveland. And how, remember, there was always drama, and he said, we don't like when things are just perfect. And we thrive in chaos.
We don't like prosperity.
Right, we don't like prosperity. We thrive in chaos. And they did. And who sets that culture? LeBron. And they do. He does. What's his greatest victory? Coming back from 3-1 down against a 73-win team. He thrives in it. But does Anthony Davis thrive in it? Does Boogie thrive in it? Does Rondo thrive in it? Kuzma. And I don't see why I mean, there's volatility on the roster. But I'd love to see a drama-free season. I mean, but will we? These are all the things that have to fall in line for them to win it.
So, we just heard Chris Broussard, who once wanted to be a preacher and still could be a preacher. We heard him preaching about all the issues that could befall this team or confront this team. But we heard, right out of the box, we heard 54 wins.
54.
So it doesn't add up to me. I agree with every point you just made because I opened the show making every last point you made. It doesn't add up to 54 or certainly to 56.
49?
But guess,
49?
Let
49 and
that sink in for a second. That's how talented we are. With all these question marks, he got 54. So if we cross out 2 of the 4 question marks, what we ask Skip Bayless? You count, might be 60. 61, 62.
You want to go up? Go ahead.
I want to talk.
No, go.
You go. You go.
Go.
Ahead. You go ahead. I want to talk.
No,
right
I
now.
want to hear you talk yourself into 58.
Nope.
Come
nope,
on.
Nope.
Come on, go to the big 6-0. Go for it.
Nope.
It sounds a lot better.
Nope.
Say 60.
'Cause
Then you got some guts.
We're on a load management. And I told you, LeBron James going to miss somewhere between 10 and 15 games. I believe Anthony Davis will miss somewhere between 8 and 10, 8 and 12 games. So I don't believe they'll miss the same games, but when the other guy's out, I have no question the other guy can step up. But will Boogie be Boogie when one of those guys are missing? Will Kyle Kuzma step up and show growth in year 3 that we saw some in year 2?
Okay.
So, well, I'm good.
Okay. I'm not good because I'm going to go back to Brian Windhorst's piece because there's a lot of yin and yang in here. There's a lot of real pro and a lot of real con. And one of the early real cons came from an anonymous scout who says, if they stay healthy, the Lakers, they have a playoff lineup now. And I told Shannon earlier, but that's like that's damning with faint praise. It's like that's all you got is a playoff lineup. So you got the 8th seed if everybody's healthy. Is that what we're saying? That's how that came across.
I think what I interpreted that as when they get to the playoffs.
Okay.
Oh, they're going to be tough
fine.
because they're slower, bigger.
I will give you that.
Slows down.
I'm going to remind everybody they went 37-45 last year with a very different roster, but with the same superstar, the quote-unquote best player on the planet, right in the middle of it. He started 55 games, did LeBron James last year, and he went 28-27. And when he activated early into playoff mode in late March, what happened? They lost 12 out of 15 games. And they finished at 37-45, 11 games worse than a Clippers team that did not have number 2 or Paul George. Just for the record, let's put it in that perspective. I'm going 12 games better than that. So you say 49? Well, I'm going all the way up to 40. Yes. I'm going high. I'm going glasses half full.
I'm going 19 better.
49.
Okay.
19.
Go 22 better. Why not?
No, 19.
Come on. Oh, come
19.
on.
That's really low.
Okay, now we get to all these issues. They're going to get off to a slow start because every time LeBron starts over, they start slow. Am I right? It just happens everywhere he's gone.
Miami,
They started really slow.
happened.
Okay, it
But
just
not.
happened.
But he been in LA for a year.
Okay, but not
Right.
with these guys.
I don't really see. I would be a little
This is
surprised
a
if
brand new
started as
team with
slow.
a brand new coaching staff.
But look at the talent.
Okay, but
I mean,
wait a
just
second.
AD.
Okay, so he didn't want Frank Vogel. He finally endorsed Frank Vogel just out of necessity. It's like Plan D. Or
We ain't
whatever they
endorse
were.
him.
Okay, well, you went to the opening media session.
Yeah, that's what we
and
do.
stood with your back to the wall because your
Yo.
back is to the wall next year.
No, it's not.
Here's the other thing, though, Skip. In the East, he knew he always had that cushion. You could start slow in the East. Last year, he was welcome to the West. Like you can't do that in the West.
Okay, so here's what's going to happen. He's going to test Frank Vogel early. And Brian Windhorst points out Frank is not a confrontational sort of guy. But there's going to be a lot of passive-aggressive testing between the two of them. It may manifest itself on social media. LeBron will tweet or post something on IG that be between the lines like, what does that mean? Was that a shot at Frank Vogel?
LeBron's not
Yes, it was.
confrontational either.
Okay, well, he's not because he does it sort of through the media back to you. Right? There'll be quotes after the post-game quotes.
Oh, we hit it with that bowl like we did Spoelstra when we walked by him.
Well, you might hit him.
Yeah, you got it with that bowl. Hey, he acting right from here on out.
So I've already predicted. I don't think Frank Vogel will last the year next year because of Jason Kidd. Because LeBron loves Jason Kidd.
They don't need.
Okay, but again, maybe that's the fire starter for them. Maybe that's the flashpoint from which they take off, where they just simply elevate the guy who's sitting in the second
But see,
chair.
I'm going to be disappointed if that's the case because we could have took off and been at a safe, comfortable cruising altitude with Ty Lue.
Okay, explain that to me. I can't. Okay, LeBron chose to play for these people. Now he's stuck with these people, although he runs the franchise.
He don't run.
He
Stop
doesn't.
saying that.
They have influence. He and Rich Paul obviously influence. If they ran it, Ty Lue would be coach.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
He would
All
got
right,
5 years
so now you have early chemistry issues. Who plays when, where, who do you close with? It's hard because it's such a new group of players with two big egos as the two. I told you yesterday, the two big X factor, DeMarcus, Kuzma. How did they fit them in? How do they play them? Who closes? Kyle Kuzma I love Kyle Kuzma, but he's got a big ego and he's got a green light in the back of his head because he's just going to shoot it whenever he touches it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to figure him out. Where does he fit? Is he the closer? He could be the closer. And then finally,
He ain't no closer with
Yes,
LeBron
he is.
James on the
Yes,
floor.
he is.
Stop it.
LeBron is not a closer. LeBron
Stop
should have
it.
closed 8 games before Christmas that he failed to close. You know it, and I know it.
We know he the closer.
Okay, so if Kuzma is on the floor to close with DeMarcus, then I got the best question of all. Who plays defense on this group? Because those two guys are defensively challenged.
It's hard for me to believe that both of those guys will be on the court.
Well,
and
I
close
don't
the
know.
moment.
I don't see DeMarcus in the closing.
Okay. Will he be happy with this? If he
That's the question.
sees himself as a star, he made 5 All-Star teams and he's not on the floor.
That DeMarcus is gone.
Okay. Well,
Now,
maybe in your mind.
hopefully he can start to come back. Start to show signs of coming back.
Okay.
But that DeMarcus is not there right now.
Okay. Now we're back to nobody plays defense who counts. Like LeBron, it's just an afterthought. And I give you this. He's just too old to sit in the chair, as you say. He's not going to give you that on both ends. He can pick his spots occasionally,
right.
but there are times when Kyle Kuzma, who plays little to no defense, has to shove LeBron out.
He did that one time. You make it seem like he does this on a nightly occurrence.
It was one of the best plays Kyle Kuzma made all year. I loved it.
No,
Saved
You
the game.
forgetting AD. AD plays defense.
plays
Danny
defense.
Green, Avery Bradley.
Are they
And
gonna be-
Kuzma's, that's his next step. He can play defense. He's going to have to
Are
play
you going to
defense
play
this
8
year.
guys at once, or how are you going to do
No,
this?
look.
Maybe you could do it where 8 guys are on the floor and some stay on one end and the others go play off.
What was Magic Johnson's closing lineup? You saw the great tweet.
Oh, it was
Avery
great.
Bradley, Danny Green, LeBron James, Kyle Kuzma, Anthony Davis. 3 of those guys are staunch defenders.
Okay, good.
And two of them
Kuzma's
can let them threes go. So when we penetrate, take that Danny Green.
And I think Kuzma, I got faith in
I can't
Kuzma
wait
getting
until the
this
first day you come in here saying, what is Danny Green doing? Because I've lived with Danny Green for many years in San Antonio. It comes and it goes.
I just live just live like the playoff with Danny Green.
Yeah.
And we already know. He might get you 15,
No,
he
that's
might get you 2.
Okay,
That's
so here's my bottom line. This team finishes in the 6th seed, but it will be a very dangerous 6th seed. To your point, if it clicks and takes off at the right time, it's going to be a big factor. But I think there's another factor. I think the 8th seed or maybe the 7th seed will be Golden State with a suddenly healthy Clay. And you're going to have 2 coming from the bottom and maybe rising into the conference finals. They both could be. There are too many other good teams for LeBron to win the championship.
Winning.
And the
To win the
conference, the
championship?
Western Conference Finals will be the NBA Finals this time. This time it will be because it is loaded top to bottom.
We loaded.
Yeah. So is Denver.
Your
so is
two
Utah.
best teams in the West are who?
Right now,
right now.
I could see the Lakers and Golden State getting hot late and rising to the finals, and Golden State winning again.
Golden State ain't beating no Lakers.
Look,
Okay,
I'm
wait a
giving
second.
Golden. I'm with
Hey.
you on Golden State having a shot if they.
Okay,
get
so
healthy.
they have
I'm
the
with you on that.
backbone of a team that went 73-9.
And who was the predator that snatched their backbone and made them go call 7-foot Kevin Durant?
They were up 3
Who was
games
the
to 1.
predator?
But
The Predator got called the B word by Draymond, and Draymond got suspended for Game 5.
And
That
he
was it.
But was he there for Game 6 and 7? When we dropped 41 and 27 triple-double in Game 7?
Do you have Kyrie to close for you?
They'll just see, there you go. Why didn't Kyrie could have closed for Boston? That's what Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum say. Where was that closing that you did for LeBron?
Excellent points, gentlemen. I'm ready
Well,
for the
some of
season to
them
tip off now, getting all the juices flowing. Chris, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Keep it right here on Undisputed. Up next, does the NBA need to put a stop to players demanding trades?
Yep.
We're going to debate that one when we come back.
No mercy.
Paul George became the latest player to demand a trade, forcing his way to the Clippers. Commissioner Adam Silver said yesterday that demanding trades is nothing new, but it, quote, concerns all of us. Take a listen to more from Silver on this growing trend.
You have a contract, and it needs to be meaningful on both sides. On one hand, there's an expectation if you have a contract and it's guaranteed that the team is going to meet the terms of the contract, and the expectation on the other side is the player is going to meet the terms of the contract. So I will say, without getting into any specific circumstances, trade demands are disheartening. They're disheartening to the team, they're disheartening to the community, and don't serve the player well. The players care about their reputations just as much. And so that's an issue that needs to be addressed.
Needs to be addressed, but a sticky debate. Shannon, what do you think the NBA should do about this?
Nothing. There's nothing they can do. Because if a team can trade a player with 3 years left on his contract, shouldn't a player be allowed to go to the team and ask for a trade? If a team wants to do what's best for the team and trade a player should be able to go ask a team, I want to do what's best for me and trade me. And that's what we're seeing. Skip, now, there's only a handful of players that have this kind of leverage. This is not about Paul George. This is Kawhi. Because I don't think OKC was actively shopping Paul George. But once it came to the realization, Skip, look, Paul George had a career year. He finished third in the MVP voting. Russ had a triple-double, and we got bounced in the first round. We're not going anywhere. Now, Paul George comes to them. Yeah, I want to go play. I want to go play in my hometown. I want to go play the Clippers. Okay, Sam Presti's saying about what can I get? KD could have demanded something like this. LeBron, but there are only a handful of players. The players, Skip, back in the 80s, Magic and Bird and Jordan, they had this kind of control, but they didn't use it in this manner. They didn't demand trade. They use it maybe for coaches. I want a different coach. Okay, team would acquiesce, give them a different coach. I don't really know what the league can do, Skip. I get with Adam Silver, and I still believe, Skip, he's the best commission going. Regardless of the sport, he's as good as it gets. He gets it. And plus, this serves them really well. Because we're not really doing a whole lot of talking about football, Skip. And football is right around the corner. As a matter of fact, they're about to open camp in about 7 to 10 days. And we hadn't even mentioned anything about training camp.
Okay, I agree with that, but NBA ratings across the board last year were a little off.
And why is that?
Well,
because LeBron James.
That was a big
LeBron James.
Okay.
That's why he gets that kind of power.
That was one reason.
That debate. I don't even care about the rest of them. You mentioned Bron, that's a reason. That's good enough for me. We can stop it there. Skip, there's nothing he can do. Because teams are trading players with 2 or 3 years. And I get it. It doesn't look good. You got a bunch of guys. It seems like you're going to have like 7 or 8 teams with all the good players, and then everybody else just fishing. Now, I don't really know what else he can do, Skip.
So, in these discussions and debates, I've always been pro-player. I will always fall on the side of the player.
But
it's gotten a little out of control. Obviously, the players are running the league, and I don't have any problem with that. Once upon a time, not too long ago, what was it, about 5 years ago, there was some rumbling about LeBron and CP3 and Melo might just go start their own league.
Right.
And I say good luck and God bless on that one, because it is hard to run a league. It is way harder than they want, because they want to play basketball and they don't want to be the businessman that you have to be jointly to run the league and play in the league is too hard.
You're not doing it.
Okay, you're
Ask
not
Tiger
doing it.
Woods about starting his own tour.
Okay.
Remember he started by doing that?
He was talking about it. Okay, so I get what Adam is saying, because from a PR point of view, the trade demand, and you just lived through a whole season of it in New Orleans, it's beyond disheartening. It's just disgusting after a while, because everybody loses, except in the end, Anthony Davis won. He got what he wanted, but it was a long, hard year, right? I don't think he loved going through it last year. You think he relished what he had to, the villain role that he had to play to get out?
Not.
But you know, the player always get labeled the villain. But when a team trades a player, the team is never the villain.
Okay, all right. So now we're back to trades. Nobody has a no trade anymore. I think there have been times Kobe seemed to have one for a while.
Had it.
LeBron had it. I don't think he has it anymore,
doesn't.
okay? Because it's actually part of the current collective bargaining. That you have to have been with the team for, I think, at least
10 years, isn't it?
8. I think 8 years. No, you have to have been in the league for 8 and 4 with one team.
Correct.
Before you can even qualify to negotiate with that team for a no trade. So right now, nobody has a no trade. But I step back, and you always have a point. You say, well, the team can trade you. Why can't you ask for a trade or demand a trade and make a stink? Well, you got me. So this is radical, but I'm going to throw it out there. What if there were no trades? What if you couldn't trade? What if once you inked that deal? Okay, well, I'm just saying.
Teams would never go for that, Skip.
Okay, I know they wouldn't, because they'd be on the hook, man.
Exactly.
Because But now it would really push you to make a prudent decision. Do we want to give that guy 4 years and $180 million or whatever it is?
Or treat it like college baseball. You sign a guy, you got to keep him for at least 3 years.
Okay.
Like you go play college baseball, you got to stay for 3 years. You give a guy a 4-year contract, you got to hold on to him for 3 years.
Kumar Rocker, Vanderbilt University. We got him for 2 more years, right?
That's dirty.
Well, it is. I mean, it is. I got you.
He need to go to court and get up out of there.
I got you. But he wants his education at the greatest school in America, and I'm good with that.
$400 million or education.
Okay,
Give me 400.
right. Well, you can go get the education.
Exactly.
I got it. I'm with you. But my point is, it's a one-way street right now, and I wish it were a no-way street.
Right.
And I know that's completely radical, but what if you had to do that? What if there was all you could do was dump the play? You could just say, I'll pay you off, but I don't want you anymore.
Right.
And then I guess if you did that, you would free him to go where, but you'd have to pay him off or pay his contract off. You couldn't trade his contract.
Well, that's what happened with the leverage, Skip, because these contracts are guaranteed. It's like in football. A guys get too much, they have these nice numbers. He signed a 7-year, $125 million, but when you get to the fine print, all he gets is the money up front in the first year.
Okay.
But this is guaranteed.
Okay, but I do have some sympathy for Sam Presti, who runs the team in my hometown of Oklahoma City, because he built his next 4 years on Paul George. Like, I'm going to have him and I got Russ, right?
Yes.
And so 1 year passes and all of a sudden Paul says, guess what? I got to go home. And he wants me to go with him and I just got to go. And Sam Presti's saying, I don't want that AD stink of last year on me, right?
Skip, I believe Sam Presti was like happy because he saw what Paul George did. He saw what Russ did. And they got to the first round.
But I'm saying he built, his premise was, I got 2 of them for the next. Did he have Russ for 3 more years?
But he got 4. 4 years for 170.
So he's got 4 years of
Russ and 3
2
for
stars.
Paul.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's building his whole franchise on that.
Right.
Because they signed the bottom line. Right.
Yeah.
And a contract is not in this league. Okay, so they're still going to get their money, but they're going to transfer the ownership of that money over to the Clippers.
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, is that fair to Sam Presti? No.
He got to pay for it. But Skip, he wanted out. But look how fast he reacted. As soon as Paul George moved, he moved Jeremy Grant, saved $39 million.
Well, as soon as Paul dipped, as you call it.
Yeah.
Well, he dipped. He dipped on his whole team.
Exactly.
Did he not?
Yeah.
He just said, I'm out.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
starting over.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything quite like it
And
before.
guess what?
We start over. We're out.
He's not done with Russ.
I know.
Steven Adams going to get up out of there, too.
Okay, well, you're probably right. We start over.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of draft picks, but I don't have anything right now.
It's gonna be tough sledding for a minute, Skip.
Okay, I'd say.
I guess y'all better start a new coin. Trust the process.
Okay.
Because y'all about to go through a process.
And what did I keep saying about Toronto? It's a great organization and a great city, but it's in Canada.
It's in Toronto.
And it's not in Southern California.
Right.
Okay, so you can't compete.
No.
You can't. If number 2 sends you a text, I'm going home. What can you counter by saying, yeah, but Canada loves you. You could be prime minister. I'm sorry, I'm going home.
And the thing is, Skip, it means more for Paul George, for a player. It means more for another great player that says, bro, I'm going here and I want you to come with me, as opposed to a team. Sam Presti saying, Paul, we really love you. We appreciate what you've done for us. That don't mean the same. That's not the same as Kevin Durant or LeBron James or a great player calling another great player saying, bro, I need you.
Okay. So you know what's even scarier to me about the new way of the new NBA? All these superstars, and they're a handful, but they are a powerful handful.
Yes, 5 or 6.
They're saying, we don't even care about the money anymore.
No.
Kevin Durant left $57 million on the table at Golden State.
Yeah.
Kyrie left $50 on the table at Boston. And number 2, he left $50 on the table up in Canada, and I can keep going. Jimmy Butler left $50 million. Think about that, $50 million?
Yes.
So I just added up. 4 stars moved and left $207 million on their table of their home team.
And the NBA wrote this in there, Skip, to try to make it cross-prohibitive for them to leave. We will give you in the last year, we'll give you 40. We'll give you 50. We'll give you $50+ million. And they say, nah, I'm good.
I'm good.
I want to go where I want to go.
What? And 3 of those 4 have something. They have a championship.
Yep.
So they're like, oh, Kevin got his 2, and number 2's got 2, and Kyrie got 1. So they're like, we're good.
But here's the thing, though, Skip. What they're doing, and now if I'm Kawhi, I'm going to Steve Ballmer. Steve, you worth $41 billion. Now, I don't know where you got your money, but that $50 million that I left up in Toronto, I need you to put that in something for me so it'll grow. I'm going to keep that between us.
Oh, one of those two.
Yeah, I'm going to do. Because look at what Kevin Durant, Skip. I don't care. Kevin Durant got access to Silicon Valley because he played for the Warriors. Once he got his foot in the door, everybody knows who he is in that situation. He doesn't need Golden State anymore. I can still work. I can do this in from New York. Guys can get in now. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to work it.
So, as the commish said yesterday, we have these rules and nobody even acknowledges the rules. So we got to change them or
don't worry. That's what I love about him, Skip. He understands it. Not only is the players not following rules, but the teams aren't following them either because they signed a guy to a 4-year deal and they trade him in year 1. They trade him in year 2. Because the Wizards, they signed Otto Porter, and I think they shipped him out the same year they gave him the big money. I'm like, well, why you give him $100 million if you're going to trade him? So
I'm with you. It adds short-term publicity bonanza for the NBA. But long-term, I think it's taking a credibility hit with a lot of fans. Deep down, they're thinking, gee, this is kind of a big mess. Yeah, they have no rules. It's just like the wild.
It is wild west. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
Good. Well, I don't.
I like LeBron James. LeBron James started this.
He did.
He pulled that power move in 2010. He let everybody know it's okay to control your own fate, to control your own destiny.
Yeah, but talk about publicity hit. He took the all-timer.
He took the hit to let everybody else know how to do it. So you're like, hey, so now everybody like, look at KD.
So LeBron's a martyr for leaving.
Yeah, he is. He took the hit so everybody else. Because before him, who else was moving like that? Nobody was big-time free agent. Just dip.
Awesome discussion, guys. We can keep going. It's an important topic and one that I'm sure you will be talking about in the future. In the future today on this show, should the Lakers be the favorite to win it all?
Nope.
Steven Jackson weighs in on that one when we come back.
No mercy.
Back to the NBA. LeBron missed the playoffs for the first time in 14 years, but his Lakers sure do look a lot different now. Anthony Davis, Boogie Cousins, Danny Green, and a host of others are on board now to help the King. An anonymous exec told ESPN, there's no question this is a much stronger team that fits around LeBron better. We are joined by FS1 NBA analyst Steven Jackson. Good morning. Thanks for being here with us. We've been debating this all morning. Skip is thinking maybe the 6th seed. Shannon, of course, is predicting much higher for the Lakers. Where do you think they'll end up?
I just get a tickle out the anonymous source stuff. Like it just drives me crazy.
It's fun to read.
It's fun to read. It's definitely fun. I say 50. I say 50. With the team they have, if everything can come together, 50-win team, they possibly.
You say if everything come together, all they're gonna get is 50.
Yes.
Yes. Best case.
What we got? What you want to put on that? Put something on it.
I got whatever you want.
Okay. Make a lot of yourself.
Make it cold hard cash.
Yeah, what I'm talking about.
I got a couple hundreds in here.
Yeah. We gonna put a couple bands on 50.
All right. At least 50 wins. I just think it's everything has to come into place. Like I said yesterday, injuries come into play. Team bonding, guys buying in, all that stuff, new coaches. A lot of stuff has to come together for you to have that season. I've been there. In San Antonio, a lot of stuff had to work. Like I said, Dirk got hurt in the playoffs. A lot of stuff. Dave was down, and Malik Rose stepped in and played big that year. Tony Parker was not Tony Parker that he is today, and Speedy Claxton stepped up. So a lot of things have to work. They have everything there. But, like, it's new coaches, new players. If everything works, they can have a great season. But I see 50 wins right now.
No, I'm going higher than that. Yeah, they're strong.
Of course you going higher than that.
They're better. And look, okay, Lonzo and Ingram was 28, 10, and 8. AD comes in 26, 12, and 4. I like that. You look at the guys, Avery Bradley and Danny Green. They're more equipped. They've made big shots. They've taken big shots. They've played in bigger games. I like that.
AD's fragile.
AD had to get out of New Orleans eating that cooking. You can't eat gumbo and jambalaya and they too fat.
That's the food that keeps you going. You from the South, you know that.
No, you can't eat like that now. No, you're an athlete. You're a high performance car. You're a Ferrari. You can't put regular gas in a Ferrari. No, you can't. You can't do it. You know that.
Soul food works wonders.
Yeah. If you farm in a pulpwood, but when you run up and down that court every night, you can't be eating soul food every day. You know that. Zion about to find, Jen, you about to find out that with Zion, he can't be eating jambalaya and gumbo every day.
They're getting him with a nutritionist and a trainer when he gets back from summer.
But I just think the thing, Skip, and I agree with you, guys defining roles, guys accepting and understanding their roles. Boogie can't come in thinking he's the same Boogie that he left in Sacramento or his first year in New Orleans. Kyle Kuzma, look, I understand, because you know what happened? The worst thing that ever happened to Kyle Kuzma? He started working with Kobe. Oh, he Kobe, that Mamba mentality. He think he gonna get 22 shots a night and he gonna score 26 a night. Nah, brother, it doesn't happen like that. The offense got to go through LeBron and AD first. They eat first. They get the big piece of chicken. You know how Daddy used to get the biggest man in the house got the biggest piece of chicken. Okay, AD and LeBron, they get the big pieces, and then everybody else, we got enough for you, but you just can't get the big pieces. We're gonna be just fine.
That third piece is important, though.
Don't worry about it. We're gonna get some bands. We're gonna get some bands. You make sure. Yeah, and you too. 56.
Get him, Skip.
By the way, just quick point of order on the food issue you just brought up about New Orleans versus L.A. I used to think that L.A. was the health food capital of the world until I moved here. This was way back in the 1970s, and I soon realized there's more high-calorie food available in Los Angeles than anywhere. Because you got In-N-Out, and you got all kinds of sugar.
And you got 20 million people, of course.
I know. I'm just saying, it's not like you can't go the wrong way when you come to L.A. on your diet. I'm just saying.
Well, we got more vegan.
Okay.
Vegans.
So, speaking of anonymous quotes, I'm going to reiterate the last one in Brian Windhorse's piece, again from an anonymous NBA executive, but his last line is, a lot of things would have to fall in place for them to win it. Win it. And that's our bottom line is win it, right? Because I'm going to 49 wins because I remind everyone they only won 37 games last year, and they did have LeBron James for 55 of them.
What about AD?
Huh?
What about AD?
Okay, but LeBron's the best player on the planet, according to you.
Best player
And
can't win it by
LeBron went
himself.
into playoff activation mode in late March, and they lost 12 of the next 15 games. Where was that guy? I mean, what happened?
Yeah, you know they did. They lost, 12 or 15?
Yeah.
He just averaged a triple-double in there.
Okay.
But that Ingram didn't step up.
It's never his fault. Okay.
Skip.
Okay.
He always gets the blame because that's what you mentioned. You didn't mention it like LeBron is the Lakers. Like, no, you didn't mention anybody else. You say he activated, and they lost 12 or 15.
I didn't say he activated. He said, I'm activating.
Okay. So did anybody else activate?
I don't know.
I mean, Batman had Robin, the Wonder Twins. Who activated? Who was the Falcon and who was the Water?
Magic
Did anybody
Johnson
activate with him?
Magic Johnson gave him nothing but playmakers last year.
Whatever.
Rondo and Lance and JaVale and for a while,
He had a
Michael
TV
Beasley.
series, Playmakers. That's what he had, the TV series.
They say he had everything he needed.
That's what he said.
To do
and I-
what?
That's
believe
what I
it.
was wondering.
Yeah.
You know, I think LeBron signed off on everything he needed to start the year. I thought he was good to go.
No.
No?
No.
Is he
They
good to go now?
finished. They
Good,
finished.
good.
They finished 11 games behind a Clippers team that did not have number 2 or Paul George. 11.
Oh, so they're gonna play the same type of ball.
Wow.
So let me ask you
They're
a
gonna
question.
be better.
So everything has to go right for the Lakers.
Every team.
Thank you. That's all my point. So what? Does nothing have to go right for the Utah? Utah just go automatically there. Nothing has to go right for the Nuggets? Oh, they're automatically there. Nothing has to go right for the Clippers?
Keep
they're
going.
automatically
Keep
there.
going. Keep going down the line.
What about
Because
Houston?
every one of them's got a chance. Just keep going.
Okay, that's
Keep going.
my point.
Yep.
Something got. You look at Toronto. Something had to go seriously wrong for Golden State.
That is correct.
And seriously right for Toronto. If
And
KD,
something had to go seriously right for number 2 because he got there just as LeBron James went west, right?
I don't care what anybody says. We'll never know. But I feel very comfortable. I'd have bet everything that I own. I don't got much, but I own a little something.
Oh, you
I'd
got
have
a house in L.A.
Got something.
Man, will you stop telling people that?
Oh, we know.
I would have bet everything I own that with a healthy KD and a healthy Clay, Toronto's not getting that
Okay,
title.
thank you.
No question.
You know what? I would bet everything I own that if LeBron had stayed in Cleveland with the same cast, basically, they're going to win the East again. I would have made him the favorite.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm just, but they make it seem like only the Lakers need things to go favorable in order for them to win a title.
That's everybody.
That's everybody.
Okay. So look at all the issues he's going to face right out of the box. New head coach. I don't think he's going to have a lot of respect for him, but what do I know? He never does. LeBron always tests the new head coach. Every first-year head coach he's
Well,
had.
we got to make sure you know what he's supposed to know.
Well, you should.
Yeah.
Because LeBron, I'll bet you right now, LeBron's got a whole lot more basketball IQ than Frank Vogel does. And I respect Frank Vogel, but he ain't LeBron when it comes to knowing basketball. Right. Okay, so how do you coach that guy? Jason Kidd knows basketball. Yeah. Those two, okay, that's a click. That's a match.
Well, that's what we going to do. Just like we talked around David Blatt talking to Ty Lue. We'll look around the corner and get to Jason Kidd.
Okay, and you know what will happen come February 1st somewhere?
The what?
Frank Vogel will have to take seat number 2 down the bench, and they're going to elevate Jason Kidd to seat 1. Maybe Frank stays on the staff as the assistant. I don't know. But you just watch. By February, thanks to quiet, passive-aggressive pressure issued by LeBron James on those upstairs, they will demote Frank Vogel or fire him.
We're gonna be going along good. Okay. We got that old 93 octane. That thing that burned good.
Really?
Jason Kidd there for a reason. Yeah, you know he's there for security.
Okay.
Well, what they should have done is go ahead and hire Ty Lue and we go ahead and get this championship. I'd have booked it. If we'd had Ty Lue as the coach, I'd book it right now.
Book it right now?
Book it right now. We had T. Lue.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
Would you book it if Jason Kidd goes head coach in February?
Nah, you can't in the middle. Has that ever happened? Midstream, you change coaches, do you win the title?
I don't know when.
Jason Kidd is really the head coach anyway. It's just be real. If you look at the team and you've been around the game and you see what they're doing, he is really the head coach.
Okay. So Steven Jackson knows a little about playing defense, and I ask you, who exactly is playing defense when you have LeBron and DeMarcus and Kyle Kuzma on the floor at the same time?
AD and Avery Bradley or Danny Green.
Okay.
Okay, but if you start Braun at point, how y'all gonna guard? How defense gonna work?
But that's what we got Danny Green for. Danny Green gonna go in the point.
When the last time you seen Danny Green? This is my guy. When the last time you seen him stop somebody?
Okay, Avery Bradley.
I'm just asking.
Hey, first of all, ain't nobody stopping anybody.
Now stop, Shannon. Answer my question.
What?
When the last time Danny Green stopped somebody?
That's a great question.
Can I ask you a question?
No. No, you can't answer a question with a question. Answer my question.
He's not what he once was. But the great offensive players, no great defense. Kawhi ain't shutting down LeBron. Kawhi ain't stopping James Harden.
Listen, it's not about great defenders. Don't worry about stopping you. They worry about making it difficult.
Okay, hold on. You make it difficult, I still get my 30. What have you done?
No, that's not making it difficult.
Okay,
difficult is when you average 25, make you get 16, 17.
What are they doing that? So who doing that?
We was doing that in the league. We was making it difficult on guys and making them shoot bad percentages.
Y'all ain't had to face them guys.
I faced LeBron a couple times. I won a couple times.
No, you won the game.
That's what it's about.
He gave you that work. But hold on. That's a team. You talk about who he stopped, but his team won.
It's team defense, too.
Okay, I'm glad you say that. Team defense.
It's team defense. It's team defense. But you have to have guys that's going to initially take the challenge. Patrick Beverly. You got to have guys like that that's going to initially take the challenge. Made it difficult. Because you can't stop LeBron. You can't stop KD.
He made it difficult on KD?
Yes, he did.
Oh, he did? He got 50.
He made it difficult, though. He competed and made it difficult.
That man dropped 50.
That's why they was in the series. If Patrick Beverly didn't take that challenge at the beginning, they wouldn't even been in that series. It would have been a sweep.
And finally, Shannon Sharpe.
What?
Will LeBron go Benjamin Button next year and start getting younger in age than his 17th season?
We on that vibranium as we speak.
Really?
Did you see him in the gym? He just posted. He in the gym as we speak.
Really?
Yes.
With some of that old footage?
No. See, there you go. See, he think he put a lot of stuff in the can. He just released it.
It's gonna be a whole different Braun. He talking about wearing the headband, all kind of
Kung
stuff
Fu.
this year.
Did you see that? He said, "Am I gonna be Kung Fu or Bruce Lee?"
Braun. Bruce Lee Braun.
New number and the new headband.
I like the Bruce Lee Braun.
Steven, you know how to get the juices flowing around here. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. All right, up next. Is all the pressure on LeBron next season? We're going to debate that one when Undisputed returns.
That's on you.
No mercy.
Welcome back to Undisputed. Time to talk about the guy Shannon loves to call the GOAT. Earlier this week, our friend Chris Haynes reported the Lakers will start LeBron at point guard next season. He's coming off a year where he played a career-low 55 games and missed the playoffs for the first time since he was 20 years old. So, fast forward to this year. Skip, how much pressure is on LeBron this season?
The most pressure of any player in all of sports will be on LeBron James next year. I think you know this down deep, and you have been exerting it all morning because you are predicting a championship for this team. You are raving about the roster that
Love it.
Rob Pelinka filled out on the fly, scramble mode, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you have been saying 56 wins, 2 seed, championship.
Yes.
And I think a whole lot of people are jumping aboard your bandwagon. I told you earlier in this show, I almost feel sorry for your man Carson Wentz, limp it to him Wentz. But in this case, I do feel a little sorry for LeBron James because think of what just happened. He went from the butt of jokes all last year to suddenly flipping around to best player on the planet, on the team many people believe will win next year's championship because he added Anthony Davis, right? So last year, there was a blooper reel circulating, a video, and we've got like a mini version of it. Do you remember, I don't know if you saw it, where it had all the low points, all the low lights of the Lakers season to the music One Shining Moment, the Luther Vandross song.
Yes.
And we have just a few of them. If we could just show them right now. These are a few of the lowlights that we just experienced last season. That's LeBron off the backboard on the inbounds. We got LeBron being shoved by Kuzma out to the three-point line to play a little bit of defense for once. We got LeBron rolling the ball up the floor and rolling it and rolling it and rolling it and then off his own foot out of bounds. That's ugly. And then we got, of course, the Hazonia block. Whew. And we got Hazonia. He stared him down after that. Remember, he walked off the court. LeBron was down on one knee and just stared him down. He got blocked. That's the game-winning shot blocked.
That lets you know, Skip, it's groin.
Okay.
No elevation.
It was all groin. This year, no more excuses. This year, the honeymoon is over. This year, he has everything at his fingertips he could ask for. This year, Space Jam will be in the can, right? Space Jam 2. So you got it all behind you, and the world will expect what LeBron posted, 2-3 weeks ago? Comeback season for the ages.
The big payback.
So he's exerting expectations on himself, which I admire. But now the world will embrace those, and now he's got to live up. And it's year 17. It's his age 34 season. Michael Jordan, age 34, made first team all defense and led the league in scoring.
I'm glad you say that.
Mm-hmm.
I find it ironic. Maybe this is the epiphany that I was looking for, Skip Bayless.
Okay.
17. Something LeBron James has felt since he was 17 years of age is pressure. Because that's when they started televising his game in high school.
I would agree.
The guy that put Chosen One on his back, the guy that went number 1 overall in the draft in 2000, what was that, 3, Skip? Pressure.
Yep. First game at Sacramento, remember? What did he go for, 25?
Yeah. The savior is something that the man has dealt with since he was 17 years of age. And it's funny, Skip. How old is LeBron now? 34, 17, 34.
Okay. Magic number? Maybe he should wear number 17?
No, he ain't wearing that number. No, he ain't wearing that. Skip, look, this is LeBron. We know what comes along with these great players. It's finals, or Super Bowls, or World Series, or bust. Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan had these very expectations every single year. And if you didn't get that, no matter what you did, it wasn't good enough. That's what LeBron James is up against. Skip, why you think you see all this player movement? It's because of him.
Okay.
Golden State geared up to stop him. Kawhi Leonard swooped in and got Paul George to stop him.
That is correct.
He knows what's up.
And by the way, he just got called out by number 2, basically. Number 2 said, no, I don't want to play with you. I want to team up with my SoCal man.
Yeah.
We're going to go against you in your house. It's the ultimate throwdown challenge.
We do
and
this.
I'm impressed.
We do this.
Yeah.
It don't matter. We ready.
Yeah.
Let you know you in our house.
Okay.
Every dog will fight harder in his home, Skip
That is
Bayless.
correct, but it's their home too.
No,
so
it's
you
not.
got 2 dogs.
You pay
fighting in
rent.
front. Yep.
You pay rent.
This is like your dogs fighting. I don't think your dogs
My
fight.
dogs don't fight, no.
It would be a mismatch, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Skip, first of all, they are tenants. A tenant is not an ownership. You cannot be in ownership position
Really?
as a tenant. They are tenants in our building.
I think that they would say that the Lakers are also tenants in that building.
We own Staples.
Yeah.
When you think of Staples, you don't think of Clippers. You think of the Lakers. Now,
Well, that's true. That
I
could
mean,
change
look here.
quickly.
Well, look at they own I think he's number 2. It's all of sports. Go out there and Playa Vista and build a stadium out there and see how many fans you get.
Okay.
It's us. And
Yeah.
LeBron James, there's no pressure, Skip Bayless. There's always pressure on LeBron, and he's always met the challenge, and I see this year will be no different. The only difference between this year and last year, guess what, Skip? We are the champions. Are going to be playing in the background.
Okay. So, you always tell me it's all about expectations.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes, and I got high.
There will be no higher expectations on anyone than on your man next
I love
year.
it.
Do you?
Yes.
I'm not sure he can live up to it as he turns 34 years of age in his
No, he'll turn
17th
35.
year. 35?
Yeah.
Oh, he's 34 now. That's right. So we consider it his 35-year-old season. That's really good.
Don't matter.
Yeah.
Does not matter, Skip Bayless. You know what's going to happen.
And this is his honeymoon is over season. This is his
He didn't
welcome.
have a honeymoon. He ain't even go on a honeymoon. That's
he
how
did.
locked in he was.
Last
he
year
didn't go
was
on
the
a
honeymoon.
honeymoon. You know,
Yeah,
sometimes, you get mad, the money, you don't have the money, you don't have a destiny, you just go to the justice of the peace. And you say, baby, at a later date and time, I'm going to take you on that dream honeymoon. You deserve to go to Maui. You deserve to go to Tahiti or wherever you want to go.
I
The
would say
Maldives.
28 and 27 as a starter for last year's Lakers is a honeymoon.
That ain't no
Yeah, it is.
honeymoon.
That's a
No,
honeymoon.
it ain't, Skip Bayless.
Being able to hang in Brentwood up on the deck, right, smoking cigars, sipping wine.
Yeah,
from
we
the
had some
cellar.
Camas.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had some Camas. And we had some Petrus.
Okay. So are you going to bounce back, comeback season for the ages this year? It's all on him. He's the guy.
Don't call it a comeback. We've been here for 16 years.
Really.
Yeah.
You were missing in action last year.
Hey, I don't care. The Beatles didn't put out a number 1 hit every year.
Well, they did too.
No, they did
'Cause
not.
Until they broke
No,
up.
they did
Oh,
not.
they
No,
did
no,
too.
no, every year.
They put out 4 a year.
Yeah, hey,
Oh, stop.
That's what he
yes,
did.
they did.
He been putting out hits for 14 years.
Yeah,
They
okay.
didn't last that long.
I give you that. They did not.
14.
Nope. They broke up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. It was Yoko's fault.
That's Yoko's fault.
She ruined the greatest thing ever.
No, that
But
wasn't great.
that's
No.
okay. Love you, Yoko.
No. They got tired.
Yep. So this is it. You predicted it. So you're the principal pressure exerter, right?
Yeah.
You still got them winning the championship. You want to back off?
No. That's the expectations. That's
Okay.
the expectations that we set. And you know what, Skip? I'll make sure that when we win this title, do me a photo. I'm like, bro, let's go and get this thing. We're going to be drinking wine, smoking cigars. Nice old bottle of probably some vintage Opus or something like that. We don't mess with silver oak. That's beneath us.
Why don't you just go for the yak?
No. You can't celebrate. We going to celebrate. You try to get us. No, we want to enjoy the moment. You know, yak, you get that, you take that yak to the head, you ain't trying to enjoy the moment. You trying to forget the moment. We're
You don't remember anything when you wake up.
No, we ain't trying to do that, Skip.
You realize you're on. This is it.
Yeah.
You've gone from blooper reel to championship.
I wanted AD. We got AD. We would have loved to have Kawhi, Skip Bayless. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that we wouldn't, but I take AD. I am not disappointed that I have AD.
Okay.
I like Boogie. I like the additions. I love what Rob Pelinka did.
Let's see. Houston, Utah, Denver, Portland, San Antonio.
And everybody-
And the Clippers.
Take a back seat.
And the Clippers.
Take a back seat. Take a back seat. We driving.
And I didn't even bring up the Pelicans.
Skip.
You don't think they're going to do some damage?
Sleeper team.
Yeah, they'll sleep. Still snow. They Cinderella sleeping. Snow White, excuse me.
They're just going to sneak up on you.
Oh, you want to sneak up on us? Skip, look here. Right now, we in the catbird seat. All the rest of them Uber.
You are. You're
They
in
get
the
in the
catbird.
Uber.
I would
We
agree.
driving.
Yeah.
Get in the back.
Okay.
Get in the back.
Great
I can't wait till we get a hold of
stuff,
Utah, because you keep talking about Utah.
I'm talking
We gonna
to
put
Utah.
something on Utah's
Yeah, Mike
butt.
Conley, you don't put anything on his butt.
Oh, and Denver, we're gonna get Denver too.
Okay.
I love Joker, but Joker about to catch this L.
Really?
Yeah.
They
You
got-
remember what Boogie did last time
They
to
got-
him?
they got-
You
We gotta
remember what
leave it
Boogie
here,
did?
guys. We got to leave it here because we've got another important topic to
Yep.
talk about. Coaches' challenges. Are they a good idea in the NBA?
What?
They'll discuss that when we come back.
No mercy.
The NBA unanimously approved the use of a coach's challenge on a one-year trial basis next season. Here's how it's going to work. Teams can use one challenge per game on calls, including personal fouls. However, in the final 2 minutes of the fourth quarter or overtime, a play will be automatically triggered for review and not challengeable, therefore. Shannon, do you like this?
Skip, I guess I can live with it because it's going to be a dead ball. They've already stopped the play, so you're not stopping play.
Yep.
It's different than the NFL rule that now you can challenge what you think should have been a call or all that other foolishness. I just like, I like the change of possession. If the ball goes out of bounds or something of that nature, okay, I don't have a problem with it. But I guess I can live with it since the clock will already be stopped, since the foul will have been called. And you're questioning whether there was a foul committed or not. It's not like, well, I think there should have been a call, so I'm going to challenge this. So I can live with that because the play would have already been stopped. And so you're saying that's not a foul. So let's go back and take a look at it.
It's a foul called on your player.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. So I can live with it.
So you can actually live with getting it right. Why wouldn't you embrace getting it right? You're grudgingly, with teeth clenched, saying, I can.
But Skip,
I'll be okay
Skip,
with that. What if it's right?
But here's the thing, Skip. There's a human element to calling games. I don't care. Unless you challenge every play, unless you review every play, you're not going to get every play right. And I think that's what these leagues are trying to do. You're not going to get every play right. There's a human element to calling ball games. The quarterbacks, the defensive back, the coaches, they're all human.
I despise the human element because it is fixable with today's technology.
No, it's not, Skip.
Yes, it is.
So you want to fix every play?
I want to fix as many as there is time for. And if you get this down to a science, and they said they're going to have another official sitting courtside to expedite this process.
Right.
So he'll just be sitting on press row, and he will look quickly at the video to help push the referees in the right direction.
Right.
Okay? And maybe he'll be a little more impartial, where it's always hard on the referees to look bad, to make themselves like, okay, you got us,
right.
Because it's hard for whoever the head referees to
right.
say, that guy, he missed that, or the woman missed the
right.
ball, whoever it was,
right.
Like that's wrong.
Right.
But if you have impartial at courtside, and obviously they're talking back to the home office, then maybe you can get it righter faster and make the game go faster. Because sometimes they go look at it 15 times when you're sitting in your living room saying, that's so obviously wrong.
Skip, they get one challenge.
Okay.
So in other words, you saying the officials get all of them right except like one time a game.
Okay, but obviously you're going to have to save your challenge for the last 2 minutes of a close game.
Well, you can't because it'll automatically be.
Okay, but not foul calls in the last 2 minutes.
Right.
Right?
And you need a timeout.
Okay, you need to save a timeout and a challenge.
Right.
Well, I wish they got at least, because I'm so pro replay, I wish they had a challenge per half where at least you could say, if you got a really bad call in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Or treat like NFL, get two, and if you get it right, you get a third.
Okay, they're saying it doesn't matter whether you get it right or not. You're not going to get another one. It's over and out.
Well, dang, what's my incentive?
Okay, and what still grates on my nerves is this will not fix the robbery of the century that happened in your hometown of New Orleans, not your home, where you live, obviously, which was a non-call in the Saints-Rams. You should be scarred. A lot of people are scarred.
Skip!
It kept that team from going to the Super Bowl and maybe winning the Super Bowl.
Win.
Well, whatever. They were going to win that game.
Skip, there is a human element to it. I mean, you make it seem like these egregious calls. And if this was like the catch rule that was coming up weekly, I could, you know what, Skip, maybe I can come to your side. But this was an isolated incident. And we're going to turn the whole cart upside down over one bad apple?
Yeah. Well, at least they're trying to fix it while the Hall of Famer across from me keeps saying, maybe. I guess I can live with that.
Yeah, I guess I can live with it. Okay. They already stopped the clock, so.
Well, trial basis 1 year. We'll see if it stays or what tweaks they make to it. Up next, is Kawhi making a short-term stay with the Clippers?
What?
That's odd,
Really?
right? We'll discuss that when we come back.
No mercy.
Time for our final topic of the day here on Undisputed. Kawhi is officially a Clipper. The Athletic reports his new deal is 3 years for $103 million, with a player option in the third year. The terms of the deal a bit surprising since most people people were anticipating 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
But it does line up with the deal of his new teammate, Paul George. Shannon, your reaction?
Oh, I'm not surprised, Skip, and it also puts him in line again for another big deal. But it seems like he wants to be joined at the hip with Paul George. So both will be free agents in the same year, and it's like, okay, Clip, what are you gonna put around us? So I'm not surprised with him. You know, Kawhi's a major player, Skip, in the hoop game now. He on that level with LeBron and KD.
Old Sneaky Pete. So it sounds to me like number 2 and Paul George now rule the NBA world. It is their oyster. Because what can they do in 2 years? They can say, you know what? We want to be Lakers.
Yeah.
LeBron retiring,
Yeah.
maybe. Or they can say, let's go save the Knicks. Or if number 2 had an ounce of honor left in him, he could say, you know what?
Go back and do Spurs.
Yeah, I got to right the wrong. I owe them. I'm going to go take Paul George back to San Antonio and make it up to my Spurs.
You said you didn't want him.
I'm giving him an out.
He'll want no out.
I would call him by his given name.
Yeah, but you said you didn't want to know we're done with him. We want no parts of number 2.
I'm done with him, but again, does he want to make it up and right the wrong?
Oh,
it's karma.
So in other words, if he comes back to San Antonio, y'all win a title, all will be forgiven.
Well, I'd forgive that one. For
I bet you.
Well,
would.
how could I not?
No.
He's not going to do that?
He'd have thought about it had you not called him 2 for the last year. But since you did, he said he's not going to be able to do it.
Okay, it's my fault.
Yep.
But you know what? Those 2, speaking of 2, if they don't like it next year, mid-year, they could just say, you know what? We demand a trade. We want to go somewhere else if they don't like the Clippers, right?
But
they run this league now.
But who's going to be able to have the cap space to move and get both of those guys? Both of those guys.
Everybody will move heaven and earth to get them.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports. One of one.